engineers, we should be able to plan and track the project so that we can keep within the constraints. So every project has a constraint of time and cost and resource, and that has to be basically set up before we start the project work. So once we have done that, so we make sure that the project stays within the baselines. Baselines are of time, cost, resources. I'll start with the project management concepts. So guys, do one thing. So please mute your mics. Okay. So if you need to ask a question, then you can switch it on. So I let you do that. Don't want to do it from my end. I do have the control to mute you all, but I that you responsibility. Okay, so right now I'm getting some background noise. I believe it's coming from Dheeraj because you are the one, you have your mic on. So can you, Dheeraj, can you please mute the mic? Yes. Okay, thanks. Okay, so when you need to ask a question, you can just unmute yourself, raise a hand, and I will. Oh, I'm getting still some. Okay. So now we have quite some people are there in the background. Okay, right now we get back to the class. So introduction to Oracle Primavera P6 interface, how to set up the P6 environment, understanding organization breakdown structure, EPS, WBS and task, working with resources, loading cost to Primavera, baseline, compare and track project management, and the reporting part, right? So let's move to the project management concept, because I do not assume that everybody knows project management, because without knowing the project management, if we jump into the tool, then we won't be able to understand the context. So it is very important to understand the context. Before we understand the context, we need to understand the concept, that what is project management. Then we will see where this tool fits in. Okay, so we'll start with the basic concepts of the project management, just to make sure that everybody is at par. After this, Primavera will make sense. So we will start from what is a project. So guys, so when Tanumay Das, you are still having a problem with the video. So Tanumay, do one thing. I suggest that you, what are you using? Are you using a PC or a tablet? If you are using a PC and you have a problem with the video, so if the video is not coming, the problem could be the bandwidth, or you try to switch over to some other connectivity, internet connectivity you have, if you have switched to some other provider. Or do one thing, that you can download the Zoom app from the App Store on the Google and install it, input the meeting number and get into it, and then you will be able to see my screen as well as hear it. If you have a tablet, it will be great, right? So that will sort your problem. Okay guys, so I'm asking this question, what is a project? Basically, I'm not asking you a question. Basically what I'm asking is that you interact with me. So you're free to tell me what you feel. Okay, so guys, what do you think is a project? So just tell me what you feel. Interact with me. So let's make it interactive. So what do you think is a project? Yeah, please go ahead. Feel free to give me a wrong answer. Just go ahead. Someone should switch.
I think a project is we have to meet perfect requirements and specifications for a client in any industry. I think that's in my definition. That is a project.
Okay, good. And someone else would like to add?
A project is a temporary project which needs to be delivered to load.
Yes, projects are temporary in nature. Okay, they don't last forever. Okay, so we will see that. What does it mean? Yes, that is true. Yes, guys, someone else, please go ahead and tell me.
Hello.
What do you think?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I think the project is which come under the different enterprises, like we can say one enterprise is a real estate. So under that, different project will be occur. So I think that's the definition that things which come under enterprises, that's the project.
Your voice has gone down. Make sure that you're speaking near the mic.
Okay, hello, yeah, sorry.
It will be good if you use a headphone, because then you will be able to cut out your background sounds going into your ear, and also the mic would be near your mouth so that I can hear you very clearly. So if you're using a laptop mic, so that can catch the echo from the room.
Okay.
That's better now. Yeah, tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah, sir. I will, yes. So I think project is like this, which come any kind in any kind of enterprise. Like suppose there is one kind of enterprise like real estate.
Hmm.
So under that, there will be different projects, and we want to maintain the clients and the delivery process, and we want to maintain our quality and all the financial things. So that's the project what we would deliver to client.
Definitely. Okay. So we'll get more focus what you have told. So that is true. That is part of the project. So we'll have a much more clearer and wider definition. Yes, Mozart. So what do you think? What do you think is a project?
I think a project is a job that you take on that's going to create a service, or a product that other people are going to use.
Yes, yes, good. Yes, that's true. That's also the nature of the project. And what about you, Christian? So what do you think is a project?
I'll agree with what was already said here. It is
Hmm.
temporary in nature,
Hmm.
and I mean, it will be every project will be unique, and
Yes.
the goal is basically to create a product, a service, result. It could apply to basically any industry, right?
Yes, yes, good. So yeah, that's right. So the guys do now we have the complete picture. So the project is temporary in nature and it is undertaken to create a product or a service, and basically we create a value for the client or the end user. So as a part of the project. So basically projects are undertaken to achieve an objective, right? And they have to be finished within a time limit. So that's why we say that projects are temporary in nature. Why? Because the objective which is to be utilized or the product or a service which is to be created, it has to be within the lifetime of people. So why the projects are temporary? Do you guys know? The bigger philosophy, that I have known during my career of 27 years, because we are temporary. We human beings are temporary in nature, right or wrong? Right or wrong,
I
guys?
agree.
Right.
I
So
Yeah,
agree.
we
right.
so we all
Yes,
have
sir.
certain aspirations. We need some comfort during our lifetime. We are trying to create something that we need. So similarly, when I create something for some other person, so that person also deserves to get something within a limited time. We cannot have very long projects. We cannot have projects going beyond lifetime. Maybe if something is very big on a bigger scale, infrastructure scale, so that might. So these days, all the projects that we are seeing all over the world using the best technology. So no project should last more than 5 years. We have seen whether it is infrastructure, big highways, flyovers, airports, or any software enterprise level. Okay, everything has to be done so that we can enjoy the fruits of the outcome. So that's why, since we are temporary here, so we want the projects to be finished within our lifetime. So that's why we say projects are temporary in nature, because they have to give the outcome for the end user's benefit, comfort, usage. Okay. So all projects have an objective within a constraint. The greatest constraint is the time, because our human lifetimes are limited. So we have to make sure that things get done quickly, so that we have many projects delivered, so that we have something that we can fruitfully enjoy during our lifetimes, right? So that's why projects are temporary in nature, and projects, they work under the budgetary constraint also. So a project creates a value. The value is the product or the service. Okay, so it is created by the project team, and the objective is set clearly by the project team. And project team, once they have understood the objective, they will weigh out the constraint, and constraint should be good enough. It's not that you have a objective which is bigger than the time limit. We cannot have an objective which is bigger than the cost limit or the budget or the resource or the technical capabilities. Okay, whatever is the technology that is available today. So we make sure that we understand all these things in the beginning, and we can use certain tool to find out. So what we do a preliminary work breakdown structure, and we put in all the estimates of time and cost, and see if it fits within the constraint. Then we should undertake the project, and then we plan it in detail, the work breakdown structure down to the last nut and bolt. So we can create a work breakdown structure which is going down up to 5 levels, 6 levels, 7 levels, and we know the last resource that we need, like the nut bolt, or if anything smaller than that. So that will include the people, equipment, material, cost, everything. So a good planning is very much important to deliver an objective successfully within the constraint and meeting the quality objective. So a project is temporary. A project creates a value. Okay, so the value is a unique product or a service. A project has a definite beginning and end. So we always have a start and finish date. It is not an ongoing effort. Now project comes to an end when objective have been attained. The team is disbanded upon project completion, the part of the team members, so they might take up some other projects, so they are reallocated some other project work. How unique? Product characteristics, they are progressively elaborated. So sometimes, some bigger projects, they are divided into phases, and the details of the phases, they are kept at the top level. So suppose if I have a 5-year project, I would like to chop up that into 5 phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Like if I'm doing a metro rail construction, the first phase will be getting the legal formalities, mapping, geo the positioning of the rail route. Okay, and then getting the land permission, acquisition of the land, and all that stuff. So I'll call that phase 1. Phase 2 would be doing the civil engineering work, maybe, then the mechanical engineering work, then electrical electronics, then the finishing touches, so then the testing, and then the operation team training. So I will keep the rest of the project at the top level, and I will plan in detail the first level. Okay, so how unique the product characteristics are progressively elaborated. So we move to the next phase with details from the previous phase, and then we detail out the phase. So the product or the service is different in some way from other product or services. Maybe it is the scale, maybe it is the cost, maybe it is the product features. So that makes each project unique. So this is how it looks like. So you have to balance the constraints of scope, cost, and time. So guys, do you understand what is the meaning of the word constraint? Okay, so just tell me. So what do you think is a constraint? Yeah. So can you guys still hear me? Are we still connected? So we have to ask this question to make sure that we are connected.
Yes, we are connected.
Okay.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, hello.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Please feel
So
free
I
to.
think constraint is it's a we can say it's a limit of something.
Yes.
Like something limit.
I
Yes.
figure constraint is something that doesn't you're restricted from doing something, or it limits you from doing something.
Yes. It limits us, but it doesn't prevent us. Yes. Right. Yes. Now let me tell you about constraints. So it's like this. Okay. I'm traveling on a say a highway. Okay. In the morning, I can reach from point A to B in 20 minutes, and then in the afternoon I have to go from point A to B once again. So I tell my colleague that it's going to take me 1 hour. He says, no, in the morning you came in 20 minutes. So then I explain to him like this. Okay, look, I'm constrained by the high traffic, and I cannot drive any faster than the vehicles which are surrounding me. The vehicles which are surrounding me, they're constraining from driving faster. So it will take me 1 hour to reach the point B. It's not that I cannot reach the point B, but I'll be reaching slower. So it means that the the situation which is there on the highway during the peak usage hour, it limits my ability to drive any faster, but it is not preventing me from driving. So I should plan according to the constraint. So I should tell my friend, look, if I'm to come at this time, it's going to take me an hour. It's going to take me 1 hour. So is that okay with you? Is that fine with you? So he says, okay, then we go ahead and set up the meeting. If it is not, then we cancel it and set it up for some other time. So now let me tell you that how it works in a project. So when you get a project, the first constraint, as you are seeing on the top, is the time. right? So time should be checked against the objective. If the objective doesn't fit within the time, then you should tell the end user or the client, right or wrong. Why is that? Just imagine that you are running a business of your own. If you are running a business of your own, tell me guys, would you like to be making the delivery on time, right? Yes or no? If if you want to be a successful businessman, do you want a repeat business?
Yeah, obvious.
Of course, you would like a repeat business. So that's how you can stay in business. Your business can't be just one project business and that then wind up. So you would like the client to return back. So you have to first of all ensure that whatever work that you have undertaken or you desire to undertake or plan to undertake in the deal, that should be delivered on time. Right or wrong?
Yes, that is right thing.
If that is the case, then you will have to weigh out the objective. You would do a rough calculation in your mind. Or what you can do, you can use Primavera to do it. Create a first level WBS, put the expected timeline. Okay, if you count backwards to today, or maybe a probable start date when you can start the project. And then you see that whether the time fits into the size of the object or whether the objective fits into the given time. So then you should negotiate with the client. You should set the expectation right. So in the project management, so basically, a project manager is also a promise manager. You make a promise to the client that I will deliver you this objective or the outcome within this much time. But how you do that? You do that with your good estimate, good knowledge, past experience. Okay, you have many years of experience as an employee now, right? Now you want to be a businessman. You want to do your own projects. You want to run your own industry. You want to run your own company. So then you have to be keeping the promises. So first promise is that of the time, okay, that you make to the client. So you should create a first level WBS in Primavera and check that out. And then you say, okay, yes, because if the objective is bigger, then you have to tell the client upfront that if you can give me more time. If client says, look, I don't have much more time than this, so then what you should be doing? You should be negotiating with the client and trying to identify which are the high priority features that will fit within the given time constraint. So that's a very good business practice, okay? So that you can meet the expectation. Now, the next comes the word scope. Have you heard of the word scope and have you heard the requirement? I believe that you have heard about both. So guys, can you tell me what is the difference between scope and requirement? Let's make these terms clear before we go into our the Primavera.
Scope is only what they have given. Uh, uh, uh,
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
Basically, the scope of, like, we got in construction is a scope of work, that what we have to do in our project, what the perfect kind of specifications, the kind of renovations or something like that we have to do. So that is the scope of work.
Yeah, because scope is used very generically, but we will focus on what does it mean in the project management. Yes, someone would like to add something about the requirement, scope and requirement, because sometimes people they use the word interchangeably. But let me tell you this: both words have a very different and distinct meaning in the project management world. Okay, so just tell me what do you think currently about requirement. So what do you think?
requirement is that the particularly what the client is required. The
And then what is the scope?
scope, it same as the scope.
Okay, never mind. I'll explain to you. Okay, so
Scope of work is generally of what your work is going to be, and the
yes,
requirements are the steps involved to achieve that scope of work.
yes, somewhat near, but it is much more different, a little bit different, but you are nearly there. Okay, good to hear that. So you guys are interacting with me, so that's good. So that's okay, that's fine. So let me explain this to you. Let me tell you a story. So let's say that eight of us, we go to a restaurant. So we want to have some meals together. So we are seated in the restaurant and then the waiter comes to us. So he will note the food item preferred. by each of us. So he'll note food item 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 8, right? 8 people, 8 different food items. So what is that? What is that list of the food items? That is the requirement of food, right or wrong, guys? Right? Requirement.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
Those would be the requirements.
Yes. So that will be the requirement. Now, what he does, he takes this to the back end. So in the back end, there is kitchen, and the kitchen is headed by a role called chef. So it could be just any person. The role is the chef. Now the chef has team of people working for him. So what does the chef do? He looks at the requirement. So requirement of the food for a particular group of people seated in the restaurant. So he translates that into work. He tells to one guy, so you fry this, you boil this, you cut this, you bake this, you microwave this, you do this, you do that. So he subdivides that requirement into work so that the requirement can be met. What is that called? That is called the scope. Scope is the total work to be done in the project. Requirement is the wish list of the client. Right or wrong?
I agree.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, just imagine this. So we have given the requirement for 8 people. Now what happens that within a couple of minutes after the waiter has gone to the back end, so 4 more of our friends, they come and they join us. So we call the waiter again. So we tell him that, look, please take the food requirements of these 4 friends. So he adds 4 more food requirements. Now requirement has increased, right? Earlier the requirement was 8 food items. Now the requirement has gone up to 12 food items. So we require 12 food items right now. So we tell him to bring it at once, not differently. I mean, not separately, because we want to start our meals at once, at same time. So that's decent. So he says that, look, the requirement has increased. It's going to take me a little bit more time to deliver all the stuff. So he's right or wrong?
It's true.
True, because
He's also going to
cooking.
increase your
Yeah.
requirements.
Yes. So definitely, if the requirement is increased, will there be more work generated at the kitchen end if 4 more items are to be added? If they are added to the work?
Yes, obviously it will increase.
Yes. So, if the requirement is bigger, the scope is bigger. If the requirement is shorter, the scope is shorter. So requirement and the scope, they are related back to back. So requirement in simple words stated is the wish list of the client. Our wish list is of 12 food items. So that's what is noted to the waiter. The waiter notes it, he takes it to the back end, and that wish list is translated into work. So work is nothing, in simply stated, the total work to be done in a project is defined as scope of the project. Because the scope is something which we later use to create the work breakdown structure, and then we do the estimations of time, and then we try to determine the quality that should be maintained, and then what is the cost. Okay, so without determining the scope, we cannot determine the time or the cost. Now tell me, guys, will the cost increase in this case if the requirement is increased?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Because what happens if the requirement is increased, the scope is increased. If the scope is increased, then the time will increase and the cost will also increase. Now see one thing, if you look at the quality, so the quality is helped by time, scope, and the cost. If the work is not completed, can we achieve the quality?
Well, obviously the quality's not there if the scope hasn't been completed.
Yeah, because now let me tell you, the quality is surrounded by time, scope, and cost. And quality either could be helped or it could be the first victim. If the time is less, then you won't be able to do lot many quality processes, then quality is a victim. If you are not having the full estimates of cost, and cost is not properly calculated, and the right cost is not applied, or the proper budget is not provided to the project, then once again quality could be impacted. So try to visualize this whole thing and just keep it in mind. Okay, before we go into the software, we'll get hands-on, but the thing is that the outcome of the planning will be as good as your understanding of the objective, as good as your understanding of the requirement. So that's why we say that we must be very diligent in collecting the requirements of the project, so that we translate it into a very well-defined scope, And very well-defined scope will give us the opportunity to create very good work breakdown structure that would result in very good baselines of time and cost. And that way we would be able to manage the project and meet the expectations of the client. So what is the expectation of the client? It is the quality. The client definitely does expect the work to be completed, but completing the work is not achievement of the quality. The quality objective should be also clearly understood along with the project objective, that if these are the functional features required in the product, then what should be the level of performance? How robust should be the flyover? How robust should be the building? What should be the strength of or this building? Or what should be the load taking factor of the enterprise level software? So how many people should we log in at the same time? That is called the quality. So functionality we can always define, but the quality has to be understood very well. Without understanding the quality, if we define the functionality, so we might create a functionality, but that might not meet the quality expectations of the client, and it could fail later. Okay, so we have to make sure that we plan in well. So for the planning, so definitely we'll be supported by a very good tool like Primavera. Okay, so once we know the Primavera, and we can basically we can do the work completely, and then also take care of the quality that needs to be planned in. So guys, so always keep in mind that quality is not by chance, it is not by accident. Quality is by design. Quality is basically dependent upon knowing the scope completely along with the quality parameters, and then we have to give it enough time, and we must have a quality cost also. So, the basic cost of the product is the material and labor, but just putting the material and labor is not enough. Then we need the cost of quality also to be determined. There should be some separate team of people, those who will be watching the quality of the material. They'll be watching the quality of the workmanship. They'll be doing unit testing. They'll be doing integration testing. They'll be doing regression testing. So their time will be called the quality cost. Without spending the quality cost, we cannot achieve satisfaction of the client. The final product may have all the features and the functionalities, but they might not perform up to the expectation level of the client or the business requirement of the client, and that would not meet the objective of the project. So objective of the project is not to just finish the work, but finish the work with quality. So quality is a promise which is made by the organization, and it is fulfilled by the project manager. So PM means something more: project manager, promise manager, profit manager. So guys, have you heard about something called price? So guys, can you tell me what is the difference between price and cost?
The price is what you initially would think that it would cost, and then the cost is your final outcome.
Okay, someone would like to add here? Okay guys, tell me what is the similarity between price and cost? Can you tell me that? Yeah, interact with me, tell me something wrong, just don't worry, give me a wrong answer. So I feel
Both
that,
involve money.
yeah, both are money. Yes, that is the similarity. And how they are different? What is the difference between price and cost? We don't have the price management here. Why not? We have only the cost management. Why not the price?
Well, the way I look at it, maybe the price would be what we say the client's going to cost, and the cost is how much it's going to cost to us to do the project.
Yes, exactly. Now let me tell you this. So it's like this. See, both price and cost, they are the amounts of money. So cost is the amount of money which is utilized to do the work in the project. So that pays for people, that pays for equipment, that pays for material, okay, that pays for any other external cost, direct cost. So which we utilize to pay our subcontractors. Okay. So the cost is the amount of money which is utilized to do the project, and price is the value created for the service or the product. Because you see, how can we index the value that we have created? So that has to be another amount of money. Okay, so that is called the price. So price and cost, they are both amounts of money. So price is the index of the finished product, because in the society, in the human society, we are exchanging values. So we are exchanging services, we are exchanging goods. Okay, goods and services mostly. Okay, so what we do, we index that. So what is the value creation? So which has happened by the way of working upon the raw materials. Okay, so a finished product has more value than the raw materials that have gone into it. So that is worked upon by your expertise, expert judgment. Okay, so you utilize your experience to create a product which gives a lot of value to the end user, and that end user is willing to pay you an amount of money for your services. So that is called the price. So what we do in the project, we do the cost management. So the cost management is taken care of by the project manager, and then there is a guy who takes care of the price management. Who does the price management? Do you know, guys? Who does the price management? There is someone who's doing the price management as
Estimate.
the price management is done by your marketing guys, right? So they are the ones to sell the project to the client. They tell them, look, our company is the best. We give you the best service, the best value. We have got the best engineers. We have got people who know project management. We have got people who are certified, people who know Primavera. They're pushing up the prices so that they're creating room for you in which you can do the work in the project, and you get paid, well paid for your time. So if the price management is not done, then we won't have the cost. We won't get paid for our work in sufficient value. So what is the value? The value that we are exchanging is indexed by an instrument called money. Okay, so every country has its own way of naming the money. Some countries say dollars, some countries say rupees, some countries say real. Okay, so this is nothing but index of the value created. So the value can be correctly, I mean, given an exchange so that everybody is compensated fairly. So in the project, we are focused on the cost, not on the price. By doing the cost management, we ensure the difference between price and cost is good enough to keep the business going. Okay, so that's what we do in the beginning. Before we undertake a project, we do a feasibility study of time. We do a feasibility study of the profitability, the difference between price and the cost. And if that is possible to give the completion of scope and achieve the quality or meet the expectation, then we go ahead with the project. So that's how we work commercially. Just imagine if you're trying to run your own business. So wouldn't you guys like to be profitable and be on time? Yes, definitely. The answer would be yes. Then you would also like to deliver quality service or product to your client so that you get a repeat business. Okay, so that's how businesses work. So you are basically focusing on the cost management. But if you are planning to run your own business in future, you will have to take care of all this. You make sure that you undertake a project which is profitable for you. You'll make sure that you will have a project in which you can deliver on time, you can be profitable, you can complete all the work, and you are able to meet the quality expectations of the client, right? So that will give you a complete future. So that will give you a definite future where your business will thrive. So what you need is project management, and what you need is Primavera to support you. Okay, so we will see that how Primavera is going to help us in this regard. So guys, is the context clear? So what we are going to do in a project?
Yes.
Good. So you feel good. So you have any question? I'll pause for questions. So go ahead and ask
Yes.
your questions. Yeah, please go ahead. Ask your questions. You have any questions about time, scope, cost, quality, and you have any understanding of the nature of the project, constraint? Okay, we make sure that we know these basic terms very clearly, and then we will go into the details of the project management a little bit, and then we will switch to Primavera. So is that fine, guys? So you have any questions here? Any
No.
questions? See, questions are welcome.
All good.
Don't think that your question is odd, your question is weird. All questions are good. Now let me tell you. So you don't have a question. Okay, fine. So it sometimes make me feel good, and sometimes I'm alarmed also. If you don't have a question. Okay, so guys, let's do this thing. So we are into 1 hour of the training. So can we take a 5 to 10 minutes of a break and then we get back again?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Sure.
fine.
Yeah,
Fine with all.
sounds good.
So you can take your calls. You can go to the washroom and all that stuff. Okay. Okay, fine. So we meet after 7 minutes approximately from now. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm back. So we are good to start again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So I hope that everybody's back.
Here,
Okay, good. So let's start again. So now I'm going to switch over to the slides. So let me see what is there in the next slide. So yes, so this is the benefit of the planning. So if we start with a plan which is short of the known objective, so what happens is that we do something only to realize that it is not something that we want. We undo it, then we redo it. Then that's how we complete the project. Okay, we do undo and redo. So we complete the project. But suppose if we plan sufficiently, what we do, we execute and we are doing the execution instead of do, undo, redo. So what is the difference between do, undo, redo and execute?
In one case, it sounds more like trial and error.
Hmm.
Well, in the other case, you actually know where you're going and how you're going to get there. So you're
Absolutely.
basically saving, like it says, you're saving time, cost, resources,
Hmm.
and probably going to be more satisfied at the end.
Yeah, let's say you are going from destination A to B, and you're going on a highway and there are 10 exits. So what happens if you miss one exit? So then what do if you miss your exit? So you go into the next exit, come back again, then take the exit that you were supposed to take. So this is what we do when we are working on a project without sufficient planning. So we undo something. Yeah, yeah,
It will
tell.
delay.
Yes, it's going to take more time. It's going to use more resources. It's going to waste a lot of the work efforts, okay, of the people that are involved, and that pushes up the cost of the project. It makes the project much less profitable. And of course, you will put all your efforts into achieving the quality, but quality will give satisfaction to the client. But what is the use of such a project for business? Yeah, businesses can't thrive on that. You might get repeat business, okay, then you have to get better. So execute means that going in a straight line with minimal adjustments. So which are called variances. And variances have to be within acceptable limits for a business to be profitable. So every project has a project plan which is not absolute. But can we have a project plan which can be within tolerable limits of variances of time and cost? Yes, of course we can with a good planning. So if we don't plan good, if we don't plan in advance, so then we are going to have wide variances of time and cost, and that is going to basically kill the profit. That might kill the quality. That might not get you repeat business. Okay, so project planning, so basically project management basically gives you the edge in delivering and on time and meeting the quality expectations without redoing. Undo redo is not good. It has a great impact on quality beside the time and cost. So benefits of planning, there is saving of time, cost and resource and greater satisfaction. Okay. And maybe your client and the whole business would be at stake if you don't plan. So that is the lesson learned here. So projects fail in the beginning and not in the end. So do you guys realize this now? So do you think it's true?
It's true.
Yes, because what we are managing, if we are not planned well, we are managing a failure. Who wants to manage a failure here? Nobody. Okay, we want to manage a success, but how can we be successful? We can be successful by understanding the requirement in details. Then detailing out the scope. Scope is very engineering in nature. You can put in all your engineering details in the scope document. So it's a document which is internally shared, and normally clients they have not much interest in the scope. So scope is different. Scope is internal. So once you have very good understanding of the scope, you can well define your work breakdown structure, and from your work breakdown structure you can well define your time, you can well define your cost, You can have very good achievement of quality, and of course you would use Primavera so that you don't fail. So projects fail in the beginning, not in the end. In the end, the failure is only obvious. That is due to poor planning. So you should have certain way of being successful. Okay. One is the project management methodology, understanding, then use the right tool and use it correctly and well enough so that you are successful from beginning to the end. And you would be successful, of course, after this training. So keep this in mind. So project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project objective and activities in order to meet or exceed stakeholder needs and expectation. Even if you don't exceed, it's fine. But you should be always be able to meet the stakeholder needs and expectation. So stakeholder could be your client, stakeholder would be your end user. So you are also a stakeholder. So anybody who is involved or affected by the project outcome is a stakeholder. So it could be individuals and it could be organizations and both. Okay, so program. So programs are related projects which, if done together, give a lot of benefit. Okay, and they are managed in a coordinated way. And sub project, they're components of the project that are often contracted out. So in the Primavera, you can do that also. So you can have data from the sub project coming in from your subcontractor. And basically, a sub project is something which takes its constraints of time and cost from the main project. So that's why it's called a sub project. Okay, so this is the interaction between the process groups. So you initiate the project, you are doing the initial groundwork, trying to understanding the broader perspective of the outcome and the expectation from the client. After you have done that, so what do? So you do your planning. So you plan out the details. So after that, what do? You do the execution. While you are doing the work which is done in the execution, you are monitoring at the same time. You are basically you are comparing whatever you have done with whatever you have planned. Okay, so once in a while you go from the execution to planning in case there is a change request. So what is a change request? If we go back to the restaurant example, if there are four more colleagues that they join you and you call the waiter to your group table once again and ask him to note four more items to the given order, so that is called change request. So we might also have such a situation, which is fine, but we should not miss any requirement. Do you think if the waiter misses any of the initial 8 people, will that be good for his career? Guys, just think of this. He interacts with eight people and he notes the order for only 7. So what is that? Incomplete requirement, right?
Yeah.
Incomplete requirement noted would lead to incomplete scope, right? Incomplete scope would result in not meeting the expectations of the client. It would be very odd if 8 people are there and 7 food items are laid out in front of them. One person doesn't have anything to eat. Do you think it's going to be good? Will that look good?
No.
Not at all, especially when you are planning to eat in a group. Okay, so that's what can happen in a project on a very bigger scale. Some of the requirements if missed would lead to incomplete scope, incomplete planning, and then the execution will do what has been planned, and that is sometimes missed. And sometimes you have full plan, but if you're not doing monitoring and controlling, you can miss even if the scope is complete. So monitoring control is very important. So you not only track the work items that you do, you also make sure and control them to stay within the limits of time or the planned time, planned cost, planned work effort, planned resources, planned materials, so that you can be closing it on time. So in the closing, so what do? We close the work of the project gracefully. We clean up the work site, we document everything, we hand over the finished product or the item to the client. We transfer it to the operations or the production group. Okay, the finished item or software or infrastructure. Okay, so if we created some infrastructure product, so we hand it over to the user group. So the user group is going to operate it for a very long time. So that is the part of the closing. So we give the user the documents, the training, the manual, the pilot run, and whatever hand holding that we have to do. And we gracefully close the project and we move on to some other project. So that is the interaction between process groups. So that is the whole context here. And here, basically, this is taken from the statistical analysis of the projects by PMI, Project Management Institute, based in the US, Pennsylvania state. So what they have observed that if this dotted line represents the total cost of the project, and inside the project, okay, inside the project, basically, you know that what happens. This area encompasses around 68% cost of the project, 68 to roughly 70% cost of the project. Now, this is something which is starting the project, that is the initiating, this is the planning, okay, and this is the execution and monitoring control, and this is the closing. So most of the amount or most of the cost is spent here. Now, if you make a mistake here, that's very small. If you make a mistake here, that's very small. If you make a mistake here, that's very big. If there is a mistake in planning, so there will be a lot of rollback. If there is a mistake in the planning, there is a rollback to the initiation, but this will cost you less. So it is almost like 10 to 20 times that of the planning, and planning is almost like 5 to 6 times that of the initiating, setting the objective right. So make sure that you plan well, and when you are executing, the variance from the plan is not more than 5%. So that's a best practice. So that's what I can say, and that's what has been observed by the people all over the world. Okay, so make sure that if you are doing something, so do it with the full knowledge, full scope, and you make sure that whatever is varying and should not vary more than 5%, so which is called the acceptable variance. So that's a best practice. So if the variance is more than 5, and then you would find it very difficult to manage, you will find it very difficult to keep the project profitable, and that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so with that knowledge, now we switch to the Primavera. Okay, just give me a moment. I will switch to Primavera, and I will share my screen once again. So I have my Primavera, that is the Primavera P6 Professional 17.7 64-bit installed on my system, and I have placed the icon here. So Primavera starts like this. So it starts with a login screen. So I put it as login. I have selected my database as SQLite, which is a standalone database, and everybody can install that as part of the package. And I click on OK, and that's where I go. So it will basically load a blank project or my last project. If I've used a last project, so it will pick up the details. So it is loading some data. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So we have this screen. So this is basically a project that I was doing. So if you want, you can close this. Okay, so you have a blank screen like this. You start from here. So then you can open, so you can see that what all projects you have in the system. So basically these are sample projects. So now guys, tell me that you are ready to start. Shall we start with the interface basics? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So everybody has the software installed, or you need some help? Someone needs any help?
I've installed it.
Okay, so let's go.
I need a little help here.
Yeah,
Sujoy.
tell me. Yes, tell me. So what I'm going to do, I'll stop my share. So I believe that you can share your screen so that I can look at it and help you. So do you see a share button now? Share screen button?
Share screen? Yes, I do.
Yeah, please go ahead and share your screen so that I can see and help you.
Okay. Just
Professor, we didn't install software yet. We have to install that.
Yeah. So let me do this thing. If the software has not been installed by Mozart, so I'll install here and all of you can follow. Okay, I'll go very slowly and step by step. So you have the download folder here. That is the folder. That is the Oracle Primavera I can see on the desktop. Is that the folder where you downloaded the stuff?
this one here, partner, is where
Yeah.
the link
Yeah.
is sent to me.
Yeah. Just click on this. I believe that you have downloaded. Okay, so just download the whole thing. You just download all. Just click on the download all. Do you see on the top right corner? No, not one
this
by one. Yeah,
There we go.
this. Yeah. Download all. So zipping one file. So let it download. So rest of you guys just watch, and those who have already installed the software, so they can also watch it in case you need any kind of self-help in the future. So that will be good for you. So let it download. So it won't take much time. It's fast. So we are living in very fast internet world these days. So those who have not downloaded, do the same thing. Okay, so we'll go step by step. So those who are using any company given laptop, they can also watch it. If you want to install your own personal copy in your own personal laptop or computer, so you can do it. Okay. So usually the software is downloaded from the Oracle side, but it is very cumbersome for you to go there to find, because there are hundreds of softwares there, so it will be very difficult for you. So what I do usually, I download and keep it on my Google Drive so that you can access it and you can basically save time. So you can focus on the learning part of it. Okay. So I believe that you have a Windows 7 system, is it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Okay, fine. Windows 7 Professional is very stable. Is it 32-bit or 64-bit?
To be honest, I don't know. I believe 64.
64, good. So we'll find out. And basically what you can do, you can click on the window icon. Just click on that meanwhile, so while it is downloading. Or on your computer, do you have my computer? Yes, you have that my computer. You can right click on that computer icon. Yeah, yes.
Right click. Open.
Yeah, then click on properties. No, not open, but properties.
Okay, properties.
Yeah, properties, you can see that you have got 4 GB RAM. So 8 GB would be better, but it's fine. So you can upgrade it. So it will do 64-bit, good. 64-bit gives you very good speed. 64-bit system, and 8 GB is good, because 8 GB, because what happens when you load Primavera, it will load a lot of data of the project in the memory to be very fast. So rest of your programs might have to be exited, and so that you can work with a comfortable speed. So we'll check that out while it is working. So what we can do, that you can right click on the status bar and you can start the performance, that is the software. So that will tell you that how your computer is doing. So just get back to your browser. So let's see that what is the status with the download. So how far it has reached. So you go to your download folder. I believe that download is happening on this P6 screen, P6 tab in your software. So
Where to the right?
no, just click on the Internet Explorer only. Yeah, click on Internet Explorer and click on this Google Drive. Yeah, Google Drive. Yeah. So I believe it has downloaded. Press Control J. Control J will take you to your download folder. No, here the Control J doesn't do that. Do you know that where is your download folder on Internet Explorer?
No.
No. Just go to your download thing. So let's see that. Just click on the Internet Explorer. Yes, downloads. Yes. Now just click on the date modified. Yes. Yeah. Click on this. Click on this. Let's see that if it is showing you the status. I believe that it has downloaded. So now go to your download folder. Go to your download folder. Yes.
Downloads.
Yeah. Now click on date modified to reverse it. No, on the date modify column, there is a date modify column on the top.
Dates modify.
Yeah, name date modified, and next to the name is the date modified column.
Oh, date modified. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you should be able to see your download. Where is that gone? Where is that gone? Can you give me a control for a while? So let me check that out.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, just give me the control.
How do you do that?
You just go to the top and you can see that give control. Give control. You should be able to see that the option. Give control. Give control on the top.
Yeah. Remote control.
Yeah, remote control.
Give it to UR Sujoy. There you go.
Okay. It should be here in this folder. So when you download something, the latest would turn up on the top. So that should be your download folder, because when you were downloading, it was showing up here and.
Said it was downloading.
Yeah, so normally the download should go into this, or what you can do that. Let's look at your Windows. Let's start from here. And where is your taskbar? So actually, you have to put this on the top. Yeah. So all programs, Explorer. Just type Explorer here in this box. Explorer. Yeah, Windows Explorer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Windows Explorer.
Yeah, Windows Explorer. Because there is a user folder here, so in which all your files should be there. So users, yes, users. Are you logged in as Sharon?
Yes, that's my mother-in-law.
Yeah. So your download should be here. So you just downloaded something. It should turn up here. So the latest download is on 7th of March. So where is this download? So which download folder it is going to? So just go into the Internet Explorer. Just go into the Internet Explorer. Because yeah, just switch to the PEPPCM, this folder, the last one. Yes, yes, yes. Just click on download all. Just do it once again. Click on download all.
Downloading.
Now let me see that preparing download. So which folder does it use? So where is it downloading? Okay, so let me do this thing. Try to find out. Let me switch on to the Tanume Das folder. Okay, his screen. So what you can do, Mozart, you can give up the screen sharing. Just go to the top and click on stop sharing.
Okay.
So just watch this screen, okay, wherever you're on. Okay, Tanume Das, can you share your screen, or Vardhaman?
Actually, I've opened. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've opened my this Primavera in my PC, and I'm watching this video on my cell phone. Okay, due to this bandwidth.
Okay. Okay. So I've understood this thing.
So what should I do? So
So
can
what
I
you so
on my
so
video?
okay. So what do you do? See, just do one thing. You just start the hotspot on your mobile. Okay.
Okay.
And connect your laptop to the mobile through the hotspot. So that will give you the
Okay,
very perspective.
no, I'll not be able to do that. Okay, my
Okay.
PC is not with a.
Okay, I
Can
understood.
I open my
PC
video?
doesn't have a Wi-Fi. So just do one thing.
Can I on? Yeah.
Yeah,
Video.
Vardhaman. Yeah, Vardhaman, please go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah.
So the rest of you guys watch. So I just want one as sample so that you are able to do it. So I don't think that finding the software would be a challenge. So you have download, because in this regard Chrome is much better. I prefer to use Chrome because in the Chrome you just press. So just do a download all. So basically you need the entire folder. So have you downloaded the entire folder? So
Yeah, that's
just do this thing. Just press Control J. Well, the Control J will take you to your download folder. Just press Control J here. So in folder, yes, go to the folder. So have you downloaded the whole thing as a bunch, or you have downloaded the files separately?
separately.
Okay, can you please do one thing? Can you collect all the files just like the structure which is shown here in one folder?
Yeah, sure. I will do it.
Just like the folder x64, x86, and all these things in the same structure. Because then
Yeah,
we
sure.
can do the setup.
Mm,
Just do one thing, expand the screen. You just expand the screen and view, click on the view details. Click on the view on the top. Just do one thing, click on the view. This view option on the top row. Yes. Now click on the details. Click on the details. If you go a little bit toward the right, no. Go toward the right, click on details. Yes. Now that's click on the date, modify and reverse sort it. Date modify. You have this column next to the name. Yes.
yeah,
Now pick up all the files, okay, and take them to a separate folder. So how many files? You have got 4, and I believe that you might have 4, more than that.
they have 4 points.
Yeah, so you go to your desktop and create a folder called Primavera.
Yeah, sir, I done.
Now, are you putting it in a folder?
Yeah, that's all in the folder.
Okay, now just go to the browser. Just go into the browser.
Okay.
In the browser, you go to the P6 Professional for EPPM. Into that, yes. Do you see these folders? Do you see these files? They should be arranged like this. Only then the setup would work. These files will be in the root, and there will be subfolder of x64, and there will be certain files in the x64 and x86. Can you keep this 4 file on the top folder, and in the subfolder you see that what files are there, you download them too. You download the folders x64 and x86. I believe that those folders are yet to be downloaded. Yeah, click on the other one also. Just no. Go to the top level.
Okay.
And one level, you click on the first you press the control button.
Okay.
Now you click on x64 and x86. I believe that you have downloaded. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Select this one also.
Okay.
Yes. Now you click on the download. 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 Yes. So you got to have the same structure as the installed software. So I've kept the structure the same. So basically you should have downloaded from the top level. So that's fine. So that's not a problem. The others can basically see what's happening here. I would advise the other people to use the Chrome browser, because Chrome browser lets you go directly into the download folder. So that saves time. Okay. Tell me, Mozart, have you found your downloaded software?
It's saying preparing download. It still hasn't downloaded, partner.
Okay, that doesn't that shouldn't take much time because you know you're downloading from Google and Google is very fast site and doesn't take much time. No, don't do that because then you will need to restart the download.
Yeah, I know.
So it should download faster than this. It shouldn't be taking that much time because you know Google is a very fast site and I believe that you guys
Yeah,
are having very good connections to the internet.
yeah. I don't know what's
So
happening there.
so just refresh the browser screen. You see on the top left corner there is a refresh button. Yeah, reload this. So click on Control J. Just do Control J. Yeah, refresh here. So
So still it's under process. I think so.
no, it is actually doing that, but it has gone into the background. So it will suddenly tell you that it will start the download. First, it will zip the files. So someone has the download of the already. Who has the download?
Yeah, just now I downloaded.
Okay, you have downloaded. So that is Imran. Imran, you are there?
Yeah, yes sir, yes sir. It's
Okay, so can you please release your screen? Vardhan, can you please release the
Yeah,
screen so that I can go to
yeah,
Imran's screen?
I can do that.
Stop sharing.
Stop sharing. So where is that option? Stop.
View.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the top there will be top
Yeah.
sharing.
I got it.
Okay, Imran, you can click on the share screen and then you can show me.
shared screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Why,
Shared
na?
screen.
Yeah, the share screen option that you can see right now. Yes, good. So you have already installed it.
No, I did not install. I'm waiting for this.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, fine. So just give me the control. Hand over me the control.
Previously, someone was using this laptop. They have another version. It's 15.6.
I will have to uninstall that one first. Just give me the control so that I can uninstall. So you are going to use the laptop only?
Yeah, and now I am going to use
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. You just cancel here. Just click the cancel here.
cancel.
Yeah, cancel. First, we need to uninstall. Yeah, yeah, cancel that.
Yes.
Just go into the Windows and
Control
then
panel.
yeah, control panel. Yes, yes, right.
I think this is the panel. This is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uninstall.
uninstall. Yes, uninstall this.
Yeah.
So you are in Riyadh right now, Riyadh?
No, it's in Jeddah. I'm in Jeddah.
Oh, okay, you are in Jeddah. So what is the temperature like in Jeddah right now?
Now I think it's about 30 today.
Okay, okay, good.
Already summer has been started.
30 is good. Actually, I was in Riyadh for 2-3 months this year. So the temperature was in the month of April, May, June. It was very high.
Yeah, in the month of April. Actually, comparing to Riyadh is dry temperature, and here it's humidity will be more here in
Yeah,
Jeddah.
but I think temperature is moderate also due to nearness to the sea.
Yeah, so it feels like same India here, Jeddah.
Good, good.
but Riyadh, it's too much.
Fridays and Saturdays are very relaxed. People are very relaxed, and you just go out
No,
in the
but
streets. You buy stuff. You have lot of choices of food.
here only on Friday, Thursdays.
Oh, okay. No,
We have week off.
Friday and Saturday is off. But today you are off.
Friday and yeah, today half off day.
Half day why?
It's one and a half the government. They are not giving us full day.
Okay, okay, okay.
I think
Okay.
it's finished.
Okay, yes, good. So just go to the folder where you have downloaded the software, and I will guide from there, and everybody should watch. Okay, and make sure
Yes,
that you note the steps
I
also.
have I
Yeah,
have downloaded this one,
yeah. Now
and
that is the folder.
I extract this one,
Yes,
and
good,
the result is this one.
good, good, good. So you have got the full structure. Yes, very good, very good. Yeah, that is what I wanted. Yes. Now, guys, so please watch the screen, and you can basically take snapshots. Okay, take snapshots so that you can know the steps when you are doing your own stuff when you download. So make sure that you download it in the full structure like this. So this is where we start from. Now click on the setup. Okay, Imran, click on the setup.
Yeah, click on this one.
Yeah, go ahead, go and click. Okay, we take the typical.
Typical. Okay. Install.
And yes, install. Yes.
Actually, it's prayer time here. It's Maghrib.
I know. It will be lot of prayer time on Friday and Saturday.
I need to pray after. Can we have after this only just 5 minutes? I'll complete my prayer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you can adjust. We'll also adjust. So that's not a problem. So how much time you're left with? So after how much time? How many minutes? 5, 10 minutes?
Only 5 to 4 minutes. It's only 3 rakat.
So it is like at 7:15 p.m. Your
No, it's 6:45.
no,
6:48.
no. The Maghrib time is
Now it's the Maghrib is happening.
okay. Maghrib.
6:45. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Not a problem. So let the
I
people
will.
see.
Yes, sir. I have logged into one screen.
Good. So just click on OK, run database configuration. Now, guys, here is the main thing. We will select the SQLite database, which is a standalone database, which is very easy to connect. But in the working environment, you might have SQL or the Oracle. Okay, so that will get configured. So in the drop down, yeah, click on the drop down here. Select the
Standalone?
last one. Yes, good. P6 Pro, SQLite. So SQLite is a database which is inbuilt, which is provided, and this will create a database instantly, and you can install the software independently. Yes, next, good, next. So rest of you, please take a screenshot. Add a connection to an existing, no, add a new standalone database and connection. Yes, take this option. Next. A password is required. You enter a new password here, just here. No. You just click on next, and in the password box you enter. No. Just hold on. Just click on the enter. Yeah, put admin. Keep it simple. Okay, so that will and confirm new password here. Admin. Admin. No. Just keep it simple because this way you will not miss it because it's a practice system. So in the system when you are using in the company, Your password will
Yeah.
be determined by your system admin. Okay, system admin will give. So here you keep it simple so that you don't have to strain yourself much to remember, because there are a lot of passwords in our lives. Okay,
Yeah.
next. Yeah, because password for net banking, password for your lot many other things are there. Okay,
Currencies. Okay.
base currency will be USD always. So we can switch the currency also. I'll show you that. You can switch to
Okay.
real.
Next.
Yeah, yeah. Next. Yes,
Next.
yes. So Imran, this is very important for you to note. This is the folder where your database is kept. Okay, make sure that you copy this. Just do one thing: copy from C to documents,
I'll
and
I'll
you put
change
a
it to
shortcut on the desktop. Don't you do it right now so that you don't miss your database. Or if you want to keep the database in a different folder, you can choose your
yeah.
you can
I
choose your.
will I will
Yes,
change.
yeah, that will be much more better. You put it on your D drive, because C drive
Yeah.
should be used for only the system files.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you
Hello, I
can.
have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, can I change this database after installing?
Yes, you can change it, but it is better that if you, Imran, you create a folder here. You name the folder as P6 database folder. P6 database. Yes, good. Yeah. No space after E, because that will be very confusing. Yes. Now press enter, and press enter
Okay.
once more. Press enter once more so that you get into the folder. Press enter once more. Yes. Now click on save. Okay. So this is your,
Next.
yeah, next. And we always need the sample data. Sample data is good for learning purpose. Yes. Now click on next. It will create the database. Okay. Database alias PMDB fine. Click on the finish. So guys, please take snapshots. Okay. So that you can follow these steps. And after it is installed, so you will be able to see the message coming up here, and you will be able to see the software on the left hand side menu. So it is installing and doing the work. Just minimize the screen. I think it is working in the background. Yeah, minimize this. So you will be able to see. Minimize this also. Minimize this also. Minimize this also. Mm, I think it is installing.
Yeah.
Installation
It's
is happening. So this should come. So just do one thing. I think it has installed. So just go into the folder and see that what you see here. So I think it has installed the software. Now you just go to the Windows option in the Windows in the left corner, bottom. So uh, just type Primavera or something like that. So just do
Yeah.
one thing. This is the visualizer, and click on the apps. So right click here, right click here, right click. No, not this. The first one. Right click here. Right click on this. Yes. Right click and click on pin to taskbar. Pin to taskbar. Good. Okay. Now come to the taskbar and click this. So this will stay there permanently. This will be very convenient. So guys, please take a note of this. So always click the frequently used software to the taskbar. Okay. Now you know your password is admin, simple. You don't have to lose anything. Okay.
Hey, Sujoy.
Yes. Please tell me.
For my database configuration, do I want to go to P6 Pro Cloud Connect?
Oh, no, not Cloud Connect. Just hang on for a second. Why is it going to the Cloud Connect? Because
Well,
if
I
you
have
don't have,
four
you have
options.
to have a standalone that is local. So are you watching this screen right now? So we didn't connect to the cloud because we installed a standalone database, so which is here on your PC only, so that we
Okay.
can conveniently take backups. We can conveniently take this file elsewhere onto some other PC. If you are shifting from PC, we can just copy this DB file and we can get started from where we left. So we don't always have to worry about where is my data, where is my data. So don't keep it on the cloud. So keep it simple right now. So
This is, I just finished downloading it here, so it's on my database configuration. I have 4 options. There's Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, P6 Pro Cloud Connect, and P6 Pro Standalone.
yes, yes, choose the standalone. I will shift to your screen. So I believe that Imran, you are done. So let this
Yes.
load up. I believe that you have some other software. So how much RAM do you have on your this laptop that you are using?
I have to check.
Yeah, that's good. So you are loaded. You click on the OK. So if you have less than 8, just get it upgraded. Sometime you can just go and buy a RAM chip and you can upgrade. You have got 4 GB. Oh, that's why it takes some time. So you can buy just 4 GB of, you can go out to the market, you can buy 4 GB and put it in yourself. Okay. So that's good.
Okay.
So it's time for your prayer. Okay. So,
Okay.
so pray for good and successful training as well.
Inshallah, yes.
Okay. Okay, good.
Stop share.
So, yeah, stop share. I will switch over to Michael's screen and help him. Mozart, is it you, Mozart or Michael?
Yes.
Yeah, please share your screen so that I can see where you are and help you out. So rest of you, please don't get bored. Okay. Okay, great. So show just click on back so that I can see where you were before this. Just click, no, this back button here, right here, right in front of you. That is the, yes, yeah, that one. Go to back again. Okay, click on next.
Next, yeah.
Now you click on this. You select this radio tab. Click create a new database.
Okay, next.
Yeah, and select the the P6 driver type. So select the P6 Pro standalone SQLite. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, good. Next, and add a new standalone database connection. This tab. So database alias. So just go into that. If you can change that new connection 1. So you can give it a meaningful name. If not possible, not an issue. Just remember this. Just click on the new password, enter new password box, enter admin, enter admin. Okay, admin, or you want to put something else. So that's fine. So you confirm the same. No, don't change. Don't change.
Just put admin.
Yes, admin. You can change the personal name to Mozart. So that's fine. And confirm new password, it should be same as the enter new password. It should match it.
Okay.
Click on next. Yes, good. Right. And remember this folder where this DB file is kept. ppmdb is equal light.db, because that's where all your work will be. Okay. So guys, so those of you who are watching his screen, you can please take a snapshot. Okay. So basically, if you want to change the folder, you can change it right now. If you would like
change it to, partner?
you can change it to D drive, because C drive is mostly used for the system. That's your operating system. You can click on computer. Click on computer. And select. Do you have a D partition D on your system? No, or you just only have partition C only. Okay, you have only partition C. So go to C, create a folder. Just click on C. Yes, click on C. Right. So you create. Okay, fine. That's a very dangerous situation. Do one thing. Here you create a folder.
Professor, do we have to install typical or advanced?
Or typical. So just click on the new folder and you create a folder with capital name called work area. I'll just advise you why, because you have got only just one partition, and work area, and do it with a capital letters. Work area with caps lock on. Work area. Now press enter. Yes, press enter. Press enter once again. Press enter. Now here you create another subfolder called P6 database.
Okay.
Create another subfolder, because this is your work area. You keep your doc files, keep your Excel files. Yes, another one. Now that should be containing all your work in the future. I believe that you have some work files like your doc file, TXT files, Excel files, presentations. You bring them all in here. That should be the home of all your data. And you should be taking a backup. Yes, you name it as P6 database. P6 capital and space database. Yes. You should be well organized, because if you lose your data, that's quite a problem. Press enter once again.
Yeah.
Okay, now you click on save. Now you click on the save button. So you know that you have a home for all your data, that is work area. Do you remember that? And work area should, from now onwards, should contain all your work files. Okay.
Okay.
So that will get you organized. If you have a lot of work in there, you should connect your work area to your external pen drive or your external drive and take the backup from one folder and you're all set. Okay. Click on next.
Okay.
Yes, so that's fine. Click on finish and it will create the database with sample data. So that will be good. So now just minimize this, just minimize it from the top. Let's see if it is installing that. I think it is doing that. No?
Where do
Okay,
I?
fine. So just click
Done.
on your window, the icon. No. Click on your window icon. Yeah, you can close this window icon. Okay, right click here. Great. You are all set. Pin to
Open.
taskbar. Pin to taskbar. No. Pin to taskbar. First of all, you
Okay.
should do that. Okay, fine. Now from the taskbar, you click on the icon that is the Primavera icon. You can see a red square little because I can't see. Yes, enter your password or whatever you created.
Hmm. Oh, that's why.
Make sure you can remember that. Okay, so that will be,
Yeah, I had the caps lock on.
yeah, that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. No issues. So I believe that you are all set. And who else needs some help? Who else is installing the software? So I believe that once it comes up, so it will load all your data. Then,
Professor, can you please help me?
yeah, sure.
I'm stuck with run database. I don't know
Okay.
what happened.
Okay, fine. So, Mozart, you can release this screen and I will search over.
Uh, where do I go here?
On the top, you will see stop share. If you
Option.
go
There we
to.
go.
Okay. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay, great. So, is that Vardhan? You need help?
Dheeraj.
So, just click on the share screen so that I can see where you are, so that I can help you out because installation has to be proper. And
Yeah,
okay,
share the screen.
okay, so that's Dheeraj. Okay, fine. So run database config. Yes, fine. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now
Oh,
click.
it's already like this.
No. Just click on next. Click on next.
Okay.
Now select the second one option. Create a new database. Yeah, good. Now click on the drop down. Select the P6 standalone SQLite. Yeah, SQLite. Yes. Next. Add a new standalone connection. You select the second option. Okay. Next. And you enter your password as admin. Your database alias can't be changed. So just remember this, admin, keep it simple. Okay, so you just remember because it will not contain anything high value, so you don't worry. So if would you like to change the folder where you want to keep your database?
Yes.
Just switch over to your preferred folder. So usually it should be D drive, not on C, because your data should be on D or E. So you create a folder. No, first of all, the best practice is to first create a folder. Name the folder as P6 database because you don't want this file to get lost. The folder should be created with capital letters so that it is prominently visible when you are looking down at your folder. List of the folder can grow in the future and press enter. Yes, save. Okay, and always make sure that if you access this folder frequently for backups, so keep a shortcut of the folder on your desktop.
Do I have to
And
finish?
yes, finish. Yes, right. Click on the finish. So it will create the data and just wait for a couple of minutes. Then we will go into the software and then we will see. Okay, so I think it has done that. How much RAM do you have, Dheeraj? In your current laptop, the one that you're using, right? Is it? Do you have 8 GB?
Yeah, I have the 8 GB RAM.
Okay, good. Now you click on the Windows. I think you will see the application shortcut there. Uh, yeah, there, the third one.
This one, 17.
Right click, right click. Yeah. No, right click.
Oh,
No, cancel this. I'll just tell you. So let's not rush. Third one, right click and pin to taskbar. So it should show you pin to taskbar. Just right click here once again.
this one.
Yeah. More. Click on more. Pin to taskbar. Pin to taskbar. Yes. Click this option. Yes. Good. Now what you do? You go to your taskbar and click here. You start from here. So you know each time you want to start this, it will be very handy.
Yeah.
So you will always find it very quickly. Okay. So engineers shouldn't be wasting time trying to find the software or the data. So you should be focused on your engineering task. So once the setup is proper, see for you it is loading very fast because you have got 8 GB RAM and 8 GB RAM is the best. So rest of you can see that what is happening here. So the data is getting initialized into the memory. Yes, this is fine. Click on OK. Yeah, that's fine. So that's not a problem. I'll tell you. Click on OK because it will see you that message for the first time. And click on this. Yes, you're all set. Good.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
okay, so I'll show you my screen and then you can configure from there that point onwards. So just give the screen back to me.
Stop share.
Okay, okay, guys, tell me that who else needs help so we can start the training. Okay, so we are good to start the training.
Sir.
So everybody, please launch your software.
Okay.
So first of all, we'll try to understand that what is there in the interface. So I'll show you a project. First of all, I'll show you a project. You don't have to do anything at all. Just understand that what it is. See, in the project management, we were talking about the scope. So where is the scope? Scope is here. You see this column, activity name column. Activity name column is the total work to be done in the project. Now this scope column, if you look at this, actually it is called activity name, but from the project management fundamental, it is the scope column. Now where is the time? Scope, time and cost. The time is here in the original duration and start finish. Now where is the cost? The cost is here in this column, the budgeted cost. The budgeted cost will come when you are applying the resources to the task. So you know scope, time and cost is determined and it is planned here. And then we can set up the baseline and then we can track each of the work that is to be done within the project. So you have very detailed work breakdown structure. So these are the structures, the work breakdown structure details. Okay, so the work breakdown structure has a very well defined structure. So it is like this. So it has got the timelines of the top level and inside that there is a further breakdown. Okay, you can have the hierarchical breakdown. Do you see this hierarchy? So what is there at the top? At the top there is software development. So that is the project. So what is there under the project? So under the project you have requirement definition, planning, design, programming, testing, delivery, training, project complete. So the testing is further subdivided into system testing and integration testing. So you can see that what are the activities under the testing, system testing, and under the system testing you have these individual activities. So this give you accuracy for the calculation. So what do you calculate? You calculate the duration. Then you calculate the resources which are required to work on this. So you select people, you can select equipments, you can select materials, you can add them. So once you add them, it will give you the cost, and this cost will be for multiple resources. So some of the tasks would require multiple resources, and that would be added here, and it will show up the total. So that is the budgeted total cost, and this budgeted total cost, it rolls up, it rolls up and up and up. So if you go and look at this, and then you can say collapse to, let's say, level 2 here, collapse to level 1 here. Do you see? This is the estimate of the project. The project is going to take 126 days. Now this is based upon the finish date, which is calculated from duration and dependencies, and then what we have is the budgeted total cost. Now actual cost not yet determined because we haven't started the project. So once we start the project, actual cost will be determined, and this is the timeline of the project. So the total timeline is basically is subdivided like this. This is the work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure like this. Okay, this is the tabular format, and this is the total timeline. So this is called the Gantt chart. So this is the Gantt chart of the WBS, and this is the Gantt chart of the total project with the activities. So we can go into the details. We can say expand all. So we can see everything in details. Okay, so this is the first task. So that's where it starts from. So we can see from here. So this is the start. Okay, and then it goes towards the finish date. So guys, you are ready to start?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great. Okay, good. So let's do this thing. Let's take a 10 minutes break and then be back, and then we will work very hard. Okay, so let's take a 10 minutes break. And I believe that everybody is using the same version, at least the version 17. Okay, so make sure that
Okay,
we
sir.
are using the same version. So those who have downloaded from my side, so they will be same. For the rest, I believe that you are using version 17 at least, because if you are using any lower version, so that might have a different screen, so that can be a problem. So make sure that you tell me that, so that I can look at your screen, and then I can tell you that what you should be clicking upon. Okay, so let's take a 10 minutes break and let's be back. Okay. So, guys, I'm back. So we are good to start again.
Yeah.
I believe that everybody's back here. Okay, fine. So let's start
Yes.
again. Okay. Okay, fine. So let's do this thing. Let us set up the interface first. So what we should be doing, that we should be getting all this, okay, all these small little tools here on the top. Okay, and we set up the environment like this on the left side. So there are certain tools which will make sense when we go further into the training. Okay, so on the top, what you are seeing is the top level menu, which is the same, and these are small little icons, and these are basically also they are also available here. Okay, here, but we keep them on the top for convenience. Okay, so let us do this thing. Let us go to the option, that is the view. Then there will be option something. Let me show you. There will be 1 second. User preferences, view, columns, time scale, file, toolbars. Toolbars should be there, so you can basically choose all the bars. 1 second. Yes, it has gone to the top. So do you see this option toolbar? Because for me it has gone to the bottom, so for you it should be nearby. So click on toolbars and select all these are unselected right now in your case, so you select all these. Project, assign, edit, layout, enterprise, print, action, administrator, bottom layout, dictionaries, display, find, publish, report, standard, tools, top layout, move. So you select all this. So you have done that?
There's Sujoy there.
Yeah.
Where am I going in the? I don't have that chart that you is on screen.
Okay, so let me do this thing. Let me switch over to your screen. So I'll just stop sharing here. So it will be better that I start from yours. Okay, so just share your screen. Yeah, that will be better. You know, it will serve as an example to the rest, and you expand it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just give me your controls. Give me your controls so I can click here. Yes. Fine. So right now, what I will do, I will click on the view, and view has an option called toolbars. You know, it's a little bit at the bottom. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all this action, view, toolbars, administrator, view, toolbars. Though it should stay there, but I don't know. It is just going away. But anyways, it's okay. Toolbars, find. So we make sure that we got all the toolbars. So guys, please watch me. I am not doing it very fast, I believe. Okay, so if you have problems following me, so just let me know so that I can be a little bit slower. So I've got everything here. Now I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to arrange them. I'll just grab it and put it on this row. Grab it and put it here. And you know, it has to be a little bit, you have to be deft with the mouse. You just put it here. Put this thing here. We don't want a third row. We just want only 2 rows. So that would be good enough for us. Yes, so that's fine. Let's see what we have here, add or remove buttons. So we make sure that we add all the buttons here. So whatever buttons we have, we open them all up, and we make sure that we don't have to go looking around for them. Issues, assign baselines, maintain baselines. Okay, so these are good. These are good enough. So let's see that what we have here. Okay, so this is to do with the task here. So we put this on the top. So because that will be used more frequently, so we drag and put this on the top. Just one. Let me do the same. Let me drag this out of the way, and it will make this one go to the top. Yes, so yes, it's doing that. This tool is very flexible. It lets you customize all the screens. So I'm doing it here so that the rest of you guys can follow. And sometimes you have to juggle a little bit, but it works. No, why? Yes. No. So it is occupying 2 rows. So let me do this thing. Let me grab this and put it here. If it is going to do that, so let me put this here. So that's not a problem. So this way. So when you open a project, you click here. So this is an existing project. You open the project. So once you open the project, what will happen? The relevant tools will become activated. Do you see this tool activated activities? Then WBS, if you click on the WBS, it will open another tab which shows the WBS. Then it will show you the assignments of the resources. So you can see more and more details. Okay. If you want to see the resources on this project, you can see the list of the resources on this project. So that will be good. If you want to see the project issues, if you want to see the project risk, so it will be all listed here. Okay, so that's quite good. So I think that you are all set. So all the convenient buttons which you need very frequently, they are all here. And activities, yes, so these are getting switched on. So this is changing the basically the looks. Okay, so once you are fine with certain controls, so this is to expand and contract the Gantt chart. So if it is staying here, that's fine. Okay, then I will show you the settings from my screen and you will do it. So guys, tell me if you are comfortable with this. So have you
Yes.
understood that what we are doing? So basically what we are doing is that we are setting up certain tools which are very basic in nature. So I grab this from here, I put it on the top. Okay, I basically prefer to use it here. So copy paste, cut, copy paste. So cut, copy paste, I believe, is more convenient if it is kept here. Okay, so I grab this and I place it here, somewhere here. So it is used very frequently, so I keep it there. So that's better. So I think it should be in the top row. So you can basically watch my screen and find out. So you can place it here because this is used very frequently, and this is used for creating the structure. So WBS structure. So that is kept on the top. Okay. So this one is kept here on the side. So I believe that Mozart, you can do it. Basically, you grab this from your end because I'm trying to grab it remotely. I believe that it is taking a little bit of double click. Yeah, it goes there. So that's fine. Let me see what else tools are there. So we make maximum tools visible here, roles, OBS. So this is a tool which is better kept at the top. Okay. So what I do, that I make some room for it. I grab this tool and move it a little out of the way, and then I take it to the top. Here in the top row. So if you place it here, it is good. So this is something we should stay at the top, resources, enterprise project structure. So this will show you that how your project is structured out. So I'll just explain. So these tools should be kept here. Then what you can do, you can then customize, and then you can say maybe you can lock your taskbar. Commands are there, options are there, everything, large icons. So this is the right size. So I think this is fine. If you make it any larger, so they will occupy a lot of screen. So let me see that what other tools are there, buttons are there. So we make sure that we use them. Thresholds you don't need, reset toolbar, customize. So I think that you have maximum buttons that you need here. So they are already here. So that is fine. Okay. So if you want to close a particular tab, so you have this red button, this red cross button. Click. Risk is closed. If the project issue task is in focus and if you click here, this is gone. If you want to close the resource, click here, it is gone. If you want to close the resource assignment, click here, it is gone. WVS, click here, it is gone. Activities close here, it is gone. Projects, click here, it is gone. Okay. So where do you see your projects from? You see it from the enterprise projects. So whenever you start with a blank screen and if you don't see anything, so you got to see the list of the projects. So you click on enterprise projects. So first thing that you should be seeing should be your projects list. Then from this project, you can select a project, or if you want to create a new one, so you go to the file. Okay. You say new, and new has a shortcut. Control N, Control O is for open. If you want to open, select this one, press Control O. It will open, or you right click here. Open the project. Okay. And if you want to create a new one, so you go to the file, or you can do a Control N. So that will create a new project. So we will definitely create a new one, and you will have to select where it goes, because that is the enterprise project structure. I'll explain to you that why we need to do this. Okay, so that is the enterprise, that is the entire organization. These are the lines of business, because you're working with Primavera, and Primavera is an EPPM, Enterprise Project and Portfolio Management. It is not just a project management software, it is for the enterprise management. All the projects in the enterprise portfolio level is managed from the Primavera interface, right? So that's why we call it EPPM. Okay, so I close this, so you can start it when I start, right? So you can, Mozart, you can release the screen.
Okay.
Okay. I'll share mine, right? So I'm here, so I will share my screen. So guys, you can see my screen here. So I believe that we are fairly pretty same configuration on the screen, and if we are not, so what you can do, that you can just find out what icons I have here, what icons I have here. If you have them on the top, grab and put them here. Okay, I believe that now you can do it. So that's how you set up your environment. Now I will show you how to configure the tool. Okay, I'm here. So basically I have no project, so this is a blank slate. So I can pick up a project from the enterprise, or I can basically create a new one. So the first thing that I do, I should have the list of the projects, so that I get some of these tools to be active. Do you see the tools to be inactive here on the top? I can't do anything. I can't do much configuration. You see that? So you click on the enterprise, guys, click on the enterprise. You are clicking, click on projects. So your list of the projects will be visible. So just don't worry if my screen looks a bit different from yours, not to worry. Okay, so we will learn that how to make the screens look similar. So basically, once you select the projects, so you can see the greater list of the projects. So you know the list could be same or different, so that's fine. So that's fine. So we will do some configuration here. We'll do the learning here. So this is the enterprise. Now, what is the enterprise? Basically, enterprise is the entire company. So do you see some groups? Some of the groups, they are common, like ENC, C Energy, then measuring, then manufacturing, product development, corporate. Some of them are matching, some of them are new. As you see this learn. So now I have created another, say, part of the portfolio, that is the learn. So I put all the projects that I'm using for practice into the learn, so that they don't get mixed up. Because what happens is that when you have a portfolio which is mapped to your line of business, so you have a lot of data which is getting rolled up here. You see this data. Now this is a real portfolio. This is not real. Learning is not a real portfolio. So I don't want any kind of figures messing up the real portfolio. Now, engineering and construction is a real portfolio. I don't want my learning projects to affect this. Okay. So the first thing that I should be doing, so that is setting up the enterprise. So enterprise at the top represents the company, and learn, ENC, engineering, construction, energy services, manufacturing, product development, corporate programs, information technology, they all represent the line of business that the enterprise has. So the enterprise should have different line of business, very well organized, and they should have different levels of the management. So the top level management is taking care of the strategy at the enterprise level. Then there is a manager at the portfolio level, like engineering and construction, energy services. So people with different qualifications and knowledge would be managing that line of business. So maybe there is one guy who's managing this line of business called learn. Okay. So guys, you are ready to create this learn, because this should be the first one that we create. So you are ready?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So everybody should follow. If someone is left behind, so okay, just let me know so that I can match up with you. And let's go to the enterprise. Do you see this enterprise project structure? Do you see this enterprise project structure?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just click on this so you'll find this. So you're here, guys? You're here
Yes.
on the screen. Expand it a little bit more so that you can see it very clearly. So you don't have the learn. So okay, you can create learn. So what do? So I will create learn one and then I will delete it. So you create learn. Okay. I click on add. Then new EPS ID will be, say, learn one. I'll copy. EPS name will be learn one. Okay. Press enter. So this learn one has come here. Now I can take learn one, I can place it wherever I want. Suppose if this learn one is a sub portfolio of learn, so what I can do? You see this right navigation button? I do this, it becomes a sub branch. If I do this left navigation button, it becomes an independent branch under enterprise. Okay. So someone should switch off the speaker and switch over to the headphone, because what happens that my voice goes from your speaker into the mic and it just repeats it. Okay, so just avoid that. Learn one. Now, if you got learn one created somewhere at the bottom, it really doesn't matter. You can just drag it anywhere. You can just push it. Use this. Okay, you can make it a subgroup. You can make it a main group. Okay, so you place the learn at the top. So guys, we have done that. Have you created learn and placed it at the top? Learn.
Yeah.
I believe you do. You have IT. Do you have IT as a portfolio here in your portfolio?
Yes.
You have IT, information
Yes.
technology. Do you have this energy?
Yes.
Okay, just do one thing. Let us do this thing. I think that will be interesting. I'm going to delete learn one, because then learn one should be. See, we can subdivide the energy portfolio into three kinds of the energy. One is the non-renewable, one is the renewable, and one is the nuclear energy, right? So it makes sense. So we understand that renewable sources of of the energy are solar, wind, hydroelectric. So what happens is that when our organization doing certain projects, those projects can be classified into those, just like you would classify your files into the folders. Like what kind of folders we have on the Windows. We can create folders like Word documents, Excel documents, PDF documents, present, presentation, audio clips, video clips, still photographs. So, what happens when we keep the different files in different folders, it becomes easier for us to access something in the future. And it becomes easier for us to know that how many stuff we have in a particular category, right? So just watch me doing this and you can also do this. So, there are two things here. One thing is that it will give you an ability to organize your business or the company's business where you work as a manager, and also be able to use this interface hands-on. Now this is the hands-on training. So guys, so everybody is doing this, I suppose. Not watch this, but do this. If you are having any problem, just pause me so that I can rectify whatever you are doing. So let's do this. Let's click on add. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to create 3 sub portfolios under the energy. That's what we understand from the business. So I say, okay, I make it a sub portfolio, just like by doing a right. So then I add another one. I say add. So I order them like this: renewable energy, non-renewable energy, and nuclear energy. Okay, and then my company has lots of projects, so then we need to manage them a little bit better. So under the renewable, I would like to create subfolder. Okay, so what is that subfolder? Solar projects. So now this is a portfolio. This is not the project. Actually, we will create the project later. So this is an enterprise structure, solar projects. So this is a portfolio solar, which is a subfolder of the renewable energy, and renewable energy is the sub portfolio of the energy, and energy is at the top level. It is part of the company's line of business. Do you get the point, guys? So solar energy I put here. So it is part of the renewable, and renewable also has another portfolio, sub portfolio, that is wind energy. So wind farms are also very big these days. Wind energy. And then what else is there? Renewable energy. We can have hydroelectric. Hydro. So I want to make it a sub portfolio of this. Okay. And what can be the sub portfolio of non-renewable? So it could be
Thermal.
gas, or you can say, yeah, thermal would be coal. So you have thermal. Okay. So I write thermal. So what else is non-renewable besides that? Gas. So you do you combine the thermal the coal and gas in the same, or is it
Yeah,
something?
thermal. Yeah, you can go only coal.
Thermal is only coal, and then for the gas we can have non-renewable. So we say that the energy generation is using gas-fired turbine. That's your
Yeah,
compressed
you can
natural
have
gas.
yeah,
Compressed,
you can have oil also.
yeah, oil-based. So we can say gas and oil. So we can put it like this: gas and oil. So we can combine in the same one. Okay. So so that is good. So this is giving a very good organized way of keeping the projects. We don't want the projects to basically be a flat list and mess up the understand that how much money is being earned or how much money is being invested in which projects and at what level. So this gives you very good the understanding of the same. Okay. So that is in the nuclear. If you want to subdivide, you can subdivide it into fusion and fission, but that is not needed. So nuclear energy is nuclear energy. So if you close this and if you come to the interface, you will find that it is loaded here. So you can press F5 to refresh the interface. So you can do it because the data goes into the database and then it is basically refreshed. So it is sometimes not doing that if you are working on databases which are working on a different server. So right now your database is local. So you don't have to worry about any internet connectivity or anything. So let's look at this. So we have certain classifications here. So we have certain projects here. So what we can do that we can, if I know that this is a project which belongs to the wind portfolio, I just cut and paste. Do you see that it is going there? Now, do you see this revenue will break up? Now, this is another project. It is part of solar. So I paste it here into the solar. Then this is here. So I paste it here. Okay. So this project is thermal project. I paste it here. Now that gives me a very fine understanding of the business. That is why we call it EPPM, Enterprise Project and Portfolio Management. So we are doing portfolio management. Now one project left. So let's say that this is the nuclear project. Okay. Now see the neatness. The total revenue at the energy level, it remains the same. But due to sub-classification of the portfolio, we have very, very good understanding of the revenue breakdown or the investment breakdown. Okay. So whatever we have invested, so that is fine. So, and we can see at the portfolio level, so when did the project start and when is the project. So the last project gets the data. So just click here and you can see what are the portfolios totals. Renewable energy, okay, we have got wind, we have got solar, we have got hydro. So right now we have got one project each, so there could be different number of multiple projects into each of the portfolios. So that will give you very much granularity to understand that which project is and who is the project manager for this. Okay, who is the project manager for this, so that you can talk to these people if you have an issue, so that you can drill down to the project. Now from the project you can drill down to the task level. See, you have to open the project now because right now you are looking at the entire enterprise. Okay, so guys, this is clear. So could you do this? Did anybody face any problem? So we do it from here, enterprise. So from here we do the structuring, and from here we do the viewing. So here we view. So from here enterprise. So here we do the structuring. Now the structuring can be done like this also if you have more focus on say IT. So what you can do, you push it to the top. You push this. push, push, push. It goes to the top. You close it. You see this IT has gone to the top. If you are focusing more on the IT project these days, you can do it. So if you want to restructure it, you can restructure it. If you're focusing more on the learning these days, so you push the learning to the top. So you say close. Yes, you should have this. Now within the learning, you can create a blank project. So this is what we will do.
Hello. Hi, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, I'm unable to see the cost and all these things. I'm just able to see the project name, activities, and strategic priority, and I am
Yeah,
not able to see start, finish, all these things.
yeah, you will be able to see this because what happens that when we start the interface for the first time after installer, I believe you just installed it for the first time.
Yeah. First time.
So in the first time it comes out of the package like this. Now I'm going to tell you that how to get these columns. Okay. So
Okay.
guys, you are ready for the columns?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. So everybody
Yes.
has understood why and how to create the enterprise. So the why is that so it helps in managing the business better. And how now you have seen on the screen, it's very simple. You have to go into the enterprise and then select enterprise and you have to select the enterprise project structure and you give it a structure, and giving it a structure is very intuitive, interface is very simple, and once you have done that, so you can push all your existing projects under the various enterprise portfolio and then it reorganizes the data. Now what we will do, we will add these columns. Now just right click here, click on the layout here. Actually you will see a lot of layout standard projects and a lot of layouts are already there. Just open. Okay, you'll see some layouts here. So you will have some layout which is global. So you will see the standard projects view. If I apply the standard, if I apply the chart view, there will be a different kind of layout. Project coding, you will see the project cost. Different layouts are there. Standard projects view, apply. So you'll see standard projects view, standard project view. Now this is the one which is created by me, and this is the one which is created by me. So what we will do, we will open the standard project view. You say open. Okay, you say layout open, and you say no to this. So what do? You do this. Open layout save as. So you take the standards project view and you give it a different name. Now what happens, actually you are creating a different layout. Now we will add columns into this layout. We'll keep the original intact so that you can always revert back to the factory layout which is provided out of the box. If you need to, if you are not comfortable with what you created, you can delete it also. Okay, so you're ready for this, guys, to understand the layout thing?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Just give me a moment. I will be back in a moment. Just give me a moment. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay. So, but tell me, are you guys comfortable with the way that I'm training you? You have any feedbacks here? You want me to speed up or something
Perfect,
like
sir.
that?
No, sir. It's a
Perfect.
good speed.
Okay, fine. So now now let me tell you one thing. See, these the screens, basically the screen that we're using, it has got the small little objects, the small little tools, icons, column. So I would advise that you should use a mouse. I use a mouse. Your mouse is very comfortable when you are in your office. If you are, say, traveling or something, so then you can use your scroll pad. So that's fine. But if you are using your mouse, it will be very easier to learn and easier to handle and easier to work quickly without any error so that you don't get lost here. Okay, fine. So if you have a mouse, you can attach your mouse so you can get one tomorrow and use it. Just do this thing. Go to the layout, right click, I'll be here, and you will see this option save as. First of all, we should not basically disturb the standard one. So you see the layout standard projects view. Now I have changed it back. Actually, for you, the standard view is a little bit different. I have changed it, but I shouldn't be doing that. So the standard one has less number of the columns, which is called out of the box or the factory made layout. Okay, so let's save it like this. Layout save as. So what do? You give it your name. So I will use my name as the initials. Okay, and I will give it a date also. I will give the today's date. So today's date is 10th of March. So I'll put 10th underscore March so that I know that when I created this layout. So that helps me that which is the latest one, which is the earlier one. So you click on save. Now what you have here is the layout. Now this layout is amongst the many layouts that you already have. If you go to the open, you'll see this layout has been saved here. That is the global layout, so which is the factory layout, and user admin is the layout which has been created by you. Now different users have their own layout. It's not that your layouts will mess up someone else's layout. So you are user admin, there will be user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5. Everybody creates his own layout. Everybody has a private view of the same data. Okay, so your data could be having the columns, your data could not be having the columns. So if you want to customize your columns, so it is like this. Okay, so guys, you are ready for the next step?
Yes.
Okay, do you see this columns? Click on the button customize. Click on the button customize. See, I can basically have nothing at all. I can select all these columns and move them. Move them. I have nothing here. Okay, just the project ID and the project name. Just do it. Just, just don't worry. Make sure that you are doing it in your own customized layout. So if you think that you have lost certain columns, you want them back, you always have the option to revert back to the original column. That is the factory or out of the box column. So which is here. Okay, so which you can always get from here. You can say apply, and then you can save as, and then you can start working on this again. Now if you want to work on your saved column, you say apply. But in my saved column, I don't have so many columns. Not to worry, this is for practice. Okay, so that you can basically understand that how Primavera lets you flexibly look into the data. You can see as much as you want. You can switch off something that you don't want to see. If you are happy with more columns, you can add them. Okay, right click. Okay, so you have the columns here, option. Then click on customize. Now we will learn how to get the columns. Now, if you want start and finish date of the project, where they could be. You don't have to actually guess. So it is intuitive. You would know since start and finish they are dates, so they would be inside the dates classification. So these are the classification of the columns. The classification dates would have this. So what you can do, you select start, take it there, you select finish, take it toward the right. Now you would find that it is in between project ID and the project name, so that would look very odd. Just do this thing, push the project name towards the top and just watch my screen. I'm clicking on apply, not the OK. OK means that apply and close. Apply means just have a look. How does it look like? I think it looks good. Okay. So then I would like to know the project cost also. Now, where can the cost be? Cost would be inside the classification cost. So this is the classification. So we can take the cost baseline project total cost, BL. BL means baseline. So this is the one. Let's apply that. We can see. Okay. Now, if you are interested to see that how this comes up, what is the breakup of 191680? So breakup is 4 different kind of cost: expense cost, labor cost, material cost, non-labor cost. So what we do, we push this towards the right and we push the labor at the top. Then non-labor cost is the equipments, and then equipments consume materials and certain expenses are there. And this is how it adds up. Do you see? Now my boss says, look, I'm not comfortable looking at the total cost on the extreme right. I prefer to see it on the left. I say, fine. So what do? I again right click this, select the option column. I click on customize. My boss says that push the total toward the left and the breakup toward the right. So I push this up. See this. Apply. I'll just hang on here for a while so that you guys can absorb it. Okay, so it takes a while. I don't want to rush from here, and you should ask your questions. Yeah, just go ahead and ask your questions if any, and I will let you configure this. I'll wait here for a while. Okay, guys, do you have any questions? Are you able to do this and get the same result? Just don't worry about the color. The color really doesn't matter. So the color can be different.
We have got all the
So what matters is that you should be hands-on in selecting the columns, in guessing where your column might be. Or now, if you want to know the entire list, so what you can do, group and sort by list. So here you don't have any category but list, all alphabetically. Just look at any column that you like and just push it here. So say maybe you are curious about phone. What does a phone column do for a project? Okay, never mind, satisfied your curiosity. Steve Jobs said live curious. So just push the phone column here and see that what does it do, what does it show. Click on apply. So what does it show? It shows nothing at all. So it might be the phone number of the project owner. So if you don't see anything here, it means that no data has been entered. So just remove this, apply. You want to experiment with another column? Maybe you're curious about the priority. So push the priority here. Okay, click on apply. So priority is too high. Okay, 3 medium, 2 low, 4 low. So mandatory. These are the priorities set for the projects within the particular portfolio. So these have been set by the business managers. Okay, so that the project managers can get the resources for high priority projects. Suppose if there is a resource constraint, so what happens? So there is a competition between two projects to get the resources. So what happens? The high priority project gets the resources first. So the low priority projects is put on a hold or put on the back burner, or it moves along slowly. Okay, got my point. So the people, those who are decision makers, they set up the priorities here. Then rest of the people, those who are resource manager, based upon the priorities set by the business manager, they can apply the resources in case of a constraint. So remove this column, apply. Okay, keep the columns think is which you think is relevant here. So let's look at this. Risk. What is risk? So risk. So what does it risk show? So what is the risk of a project? If there is any risk number or something like that, it can show you here. So it has not been set. So you won't see anything. Return on investment, safety, schedule status, Six Sigma. Okay, there are lots of columns which are created inside Primavera as a factory or out of the box, and then you can create your own columns also. Okay, so if you want to edit the column, you can do the editing. Width 100, Six Sigma, internal name, so new name, so the alignment is right or left, whichever way you want the data to be aligned, you can do it. So this is a very flexible software. And if you want to see the columns, if you're more comfortable to find by name, so you can say baseline or something like that. So we'll find all the baseline based column names. Okay. If you want to change the available option to say group and sort by category, so you've got the category. So category might be comfortable for some. Someone is comfortable with find. Someone is comfortable with a full alphabetic list. So that depends upon person. Someone wants to see the actual start date of the project. Yes, you can put the actual start date, and then you would need the actual finish. So the finish would be a little bit above actual finish. So you put the actual start and finish next to the start and finish, and then you can see if there is some data. So if some project has been tracked, so it will have an actual start date. If the project is ongoing, then the actual finish would not be there, but the actual start would be there. So actual start could be different from planned start or baseline start. Do you see this A here, A in the start column? And in some of the project, you don't see the A in the start column. Can you guess that why is it there in certain projects? Why does
it means actual?
The started.
Yeah. So A means that this project has some actual data. Means some part of the project has been tracked and it has got actual data. Now you can basically correlate it to this column. Actual start column is populated. Now if you look at this project, Zenith Continuity Program, do you see any data in the actual start column? No. So that's why the A is not there as a suffix. So when A is indicated, it means that the project has started and some actual project execution data has been captured and compiled. So you can be sure that this project has started and some of the task has been done, so that actuals are there. So actual time, actual cost, actual work effort, so that has been captured. So that's why the A is an indicator of the actual data. Now if I do some task in this project, execute it and capture the actuals of the progress, so the A would appear here. So in this case, it is not there because the actual start or actual finish or actual work or actual cost has not been captured here. Okay. So that's why it is there. So, and now let's go back to the column again. Now, there is certain column, it is, I believe it is suggesting to you, column it is saying responsible manager. So this is the column that it is putting there, responsible manager. So basically, it is showing you this way. So columns, customize. So you can customize. So I think I've lost the customization data. So you can customize again. So that's not a problem. Just don't worry. Or what you can do, and you say layout, open. You say save changes. No, no. So you open this and you apply this. And if you've saved it the last time, so it will come back. So you didn't save it the last time, so it doesn't come back. But then you can basically customize once again. Say customize. So you want the dates, you select finish date, you select the start date. So what do you do? Start, finish. So what you need is duration. So because the duration is needed, so baseline project duration. Okay, so you apply that. So what is the project duration which is coming up? So you say okay, and then what you can do, you can say layout save. Now save basically saves whatever configuration you are doing right now. So you would like to get the cost here. So you click on customize, you click on the cost, and then you say the baseline project total cost. If you're happy to see only the total cost and not the breakup, you can keep it here. And if you want more cost and you want to see non-labor, then material, then expense. If you want to keep it that way, keep it okay. But here now I'll be careful this time. I will save the layout. I will say save. Okay. And you can basically save the layout. You can export the layout. Now you want to change the sequence. So sequence is like this. First you want to see the start date, and then you want to see the finish date, and this is the duration. So if you look at this project, so it doesn't have any finish date because that has not been tracked. Okay, so what you can do, you can open the project. So within the task you have the duration. So duration, so here also you can configure the columns. Okay, so this is the classic layout. So you can select the layout, you can say open. Okay, so these are the factory layouts on the top, the layouts which are there. This is the classic WBS layout. So you can save the layout as save as. So classic schedule layout SD1. So let's see that what is there. It has a different set of columns. SD, it has a different set of columns. So it has got even the calendar, variance, total cost. So what you can do, you can even shift the tabs here. So if you want the projects to be visible first and the activity. So basically the activity tab is one single project. And if you look at the project, this is the enterprise. Okay. So this is where we start from. We start from the basically the enterprise. Then either we create, if I want to create a project under the learn, I create, I say add, insert. So add is this button is very standard. Delete means that delete the project. So if you select a project, if you want to delete it, you can just hit the delete button, or you can just click on the delete icon from the right menu. Okay. So let's do this thing. Let's create a test project under the learn. So select learn, you say add, you select EPS. Okay. So if the EPS is selected, so the project will be created under this. So do you see the correct EPS where you want to put this project? But you can move a project after creation also from one EPS to another by using the option cut and paste. So that let's do that. So even that's fine. So you want to create it here and you click on the plus sign. So you have selected the EPS. So guys, you are doing that. I'll just pause here for a while. So we are going to create a blank project. So we will call it a test project. So you are doing that.
Yes.
So everybody's here at this stage here.
No, I'm coming.
Okay,
I'm not
fine.
there.
So I'll just wait here for a while. So once you catch up, then we'll move from here. So
How
what
did
I
you
will
get there?
do, yeah.
Sujoy, how did you get there, my friend?
Okay, so just have a look once again. So I selected learn and I right clicked. And you can hit the insert button or you can click on the add icon. So this is a plus sign. You want to add something here. So what do I add in this? I can only add a project. So it will create a project. You select the EPS. So you can select enterprise if you don't know the classification at the moment, or if you are sure that this is the classification, you select learn. Okay, so this is where you are. Learn, planning, and project management. So you are here.
I don't have that learn planning and project management on
So you can create it. So that's not a problem.
here. Okay.
So where do you create it from? So I'll just tell you. Just go to the enterprise at the top. Select this enterprise project structure.
Yeah.
Right. Be here. And at the top level, you click on plus add. And you add this learn and you fill in the details here at the bottom. And you place it at the top. You just push it to the top by selecting it and shift up arrow. You click on the shift up arrow, it will go to the top. So you create and you put in the detail here, EPS ID, learn and EPS name, learn planning and project management.
Learn.
And make sure that it goes to the top so that it is visible.
Okay.
So you are here now.
Yes.
So I think you will have just a blank portfolio. So you know that's a portfolio. So learning is a portfolio in the enterprise. So right now it is your top priority. So that's why you have pushed it to the top. So based upon your priorities, you can push them at any other level. So that depends what you are focusing on at the moment. So it is very flexible in this regard. Okay. So now let's do this thing. Right click on this, we click on the add. So what do you add in a portfolio? That is a project. Okay, so we will set up a project here. So we'll call it the test project, right? So click on add. So it will say select EPS. So if we have already clicked on the correct EPS in the beginning, it will show up here. So even if it doesn't, we can create a project in the enterprise level and later we can move it to the appropriate portfolio. So you know you can shuffle any project from any portfolio at any point of time. Basically, portfolios are basically a convenient way to look at the total breakdown of the investment of the ongoing values of the project so that you have an opportunity. Suppose if you are a finance guy, so you would like to prioritize your finances, so you can see that which portfolio has more investment or which one or which portfolio requires money but it doesn't have currently. So if you are under constraint, So what you can do that you can basically put the, I mean, low priority portfolio projects on the back burner and move the finances to the ones which are high priority project.
Hello.
Yes, yes, tell me.
Sir, I'm unable to see the activities under my learn project. Like I'm seeing in your project, so
Hmm.
I'm unable to see the activities.
Yes, yes. I'll just show you the activity. So activity is basically when you open the project. Okay, so
Okay.
activity is mean that you have selected one individual project and you have opened it. So right now I am here in the portfolio. Okay,
Okay.
in the portfolio, let me create the project and we will open that project and then your activities will be visible for that project. Okay, so you are here. First of all, you come here and you click on create a new project. Now click on the next new project ID. You say new project ID. You say test 10th March. So you say test underscore 10th March. So you use the same name here, the project name also you make it the same. Just copy paste here, you know, so that we don't want too much complications. So project ID is test one. So when did you plan? You should always have some future dates. So let's say that I'm planning in advance. I want to start this project on 4th of June. You select 4th of June here, guys. You should start early. So even this is late because the planning itself takes time. That's a lesson learned in real life. You should give sufficient time to planning. If you don't give sufficient time to planning, then what happens? Do, undo, redo, and scrap. Scrap means that if you do something and if the material cannot be molded back into some desired shape because it has already been consumed, okay, by the nature of the material, once applied it is consumed, so it is scrapped out. So you will have to just pull down the whole stuff and the structure, and you will have to start again with fresh material. So you don't want that. The scrap is the worst thing. So the man hours get scrapped, the material gets scrapped due to the wrong planning. Okay, so we make sure that we have the right planning. So we should give sufficient time to the planning. So let's select 4th of June. So you have selected, select, and must finish by. Never ever put a date here because that messes up the planning. So let Primavera predict the dates for you when the tasks they are scheduled according to the technical dependency. So never ever. So that's a practice that I'm telling you. So never put the must finish by date. So let Primavera tell you what is your finish date. You only do the dependency and the duration estimation. Responsible manager, select any responsible manager. I'm selecting myself. I'll show you how to create the managers here in the hierarchy. Okay, so you select any manager which is there, and basically you can leave it to the top level also. That's not a problem. So you can change the manager later. So once you have this, so what do? You go to the next. Rate type is standard, and congratulations. You click on finish, and your project has been created. Do you see this project here? Test and match in your portfolio.
Yes.
Okay, just right click this, you will see open project. Okay, so it will open up here like this. You don't have anything here. So you guys are all here.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we'll add a task here and then we will switch the view. See, there are various views. This is a tabular view. This is a Gantt chart view. So you have the Gantt chart screen here, but nothing on the Gantt chart because there is no task here. So I'll first add a task here. So what I do, I click on the plus sign. Do you see this plus sign here? I think you should see this because you have placed it here, or you can right click here. You can say add, or you click on the insert button. So both ways you are fine. So you can add it from here using the insert button. You can add it from here. So whichever is convenient. So if you don't want to use any right click or something, so what you can do, you can click on the insert button which is there on your keypad. Just hit the insert button. Okay.
So I'm not at that part there. How did you get to where you're at?
Here inside this, okay,
Yes.
you go to a project. You see your project which has been created, your test project.
Yeah, the test of March 10th. Yeah.
So you right click this and open project.
Project. Okay. I'm there now. Thank you.
Okay. So right now you're here. So you press the insert key which is there on your keyboard. So you will see it on the top. You'll find it next to the delete button. So different brands have different layouts. So but the insert button is usually is placed on the top. So you can say task 1. So you can say task 1. So this is task 1. Okay, you can then adjust the width of the column. So you might be seeing the same columns or different columns. It just really doesn't matter. Now to get the Gantt bar here in the focus, so what do? I select the task and double click here on my Gantt chart like this. Do you see this? This chart come up. This Gantt chart. This bar on your screen. So if my Gantt chart is lost, just don't worry. It could be on the left or on the right. You select the task and do a double tap here quickly on your Gantt chart. It will come up. Now this is a 6-day week calendar that I'm using. Your calendar might be 5 days a week. So we will know how to adjust
Sir, I'm unable to see that Gantt chart.
So you click on
Actually,
the option. You go to the top. You see this option.
Okay.
This is the table only. So you can see
actually,
only
a
just
calendar. Excuse me, a calendar is in 2013. So how to move it to 2018?
so that's not a problem. So what you can do that you just go
Because
into the project. Okay.
yeah.
Right click this.
Hmm.
Okay. Project details.
Hmm.
You see the project detail here. Okay.
Yeah.
So just do one thing. I will shift it a little bit up so that you can see more of the details here. So you go to the dates tab here. You select or you just type here instead of 13. Suppose if it is like this, you go to this and you make it as 18. Okay. And 18, you press F10. F10 is the save button for Primavera. So once you've done that, you will find that the project date will be changed. The start date of the project will be changed. Okay. And you press F10 here also, and then you hide this detail window. So do you see the date change to 4th of June 18 for your project?
Yeah, it's 4th of June.
4th of June. Okay. Now you
Yeah.
go to the activities. Now you will see, or you may not see. If you don't see, just do one thing. You press F5. F5. You know what it does in the browser? It refreshes the data from the server. It brings up the fresh data into the browser if something has changed in the backend. So here it also does the same thing. So my project is using a 6-day week calendar. So that's why I'm seeing a single bar in the Gantt chart. So if I have put a 6-day task, it's fine. If I put a 7-day task, now see that what happens. Now the 7th day is actually skipping the weekend and is going to Monday, which makes sense if a task is given to us. So which is basically more number of days than the weekend. So it will skip over the weekend. It will go to the next week. So we say that the working days are 7, the calendar days are 8, because out of the 8 days, one is the non-working. Do you see that there are 8 calendar days? So calendar days are always more than the working days.
Hello. Hi, sir.
So working days are totally our calculation, technical calculation. So
Hello.
when we are doing a technical calculation, we do not include or we do not even think about the calendar days. Right? You get my point?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, I'm only able to see the green Gantt chart. I'm unable to see that red and yellow one.
Red and yellow, that is due to the different view. So your
Okay.
view is basically about the bars. what bars do you want to see. So that is the remaining work. So you just select these options from my screen. Do you see these options on my screen? You select the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
Okay,
will.
remaining
Okay.
work, actual.
So everybody please configure whatever I have here. So select the same configuration. So we all have the same looking screen and we should not be confused. And these are the ones which are initially required, and later on when you become proficient you can change this. So these are the ones which are required basically. Very, very basic bars which are required. So always keep them selected. So
Yeah, we need to see your preview. Like it's a bit different. Your preview and our preview is a bit different. Primary
so
baseline is a fat yellow line, I think so. Fat.
yeah, just select this option and then apply and it will change. Okay.
And I mean your preview. The one which you have taken selected for primary baseline is a fat yellow. So
Yeah,
just
so
yeah.
so you can select whatever you
No,
want.
no. Yeah.
So you the bar style I have selected this. So you can select the fat yellow, so it's good, so that it is prominent because these are very thin bars. They initially out of the box, so they are very difficult to sometimes look at, and sometimes they don't show up correctly on the projector. So that's why I make it a little bit thicker so that people can see and understand it. Use it. Use a thicker one. You can select the bar style also if you want to use a thin or activity level effort primary baseline. It's a bit thicker actual one. So I'll just wait here for a while. You apply this and you will find it very, very intuitive. You can do it. Okay, so you can do it. Remaining work. So I've selected a thicker one, and then there are certain more bars which I've selected: current bar level, milestone. Okay, then I have selected summary, float bar. So select the bars which I have selected. First of all, I'll show you the ones at the top. Okay, so some of them are thin, some of them are thick. So use them. So you have done that. So I'll show you more what I've selected.
Yeah.
So you have done that. Summary, float bar. You select all this. Not all, but step, right? So I think that you have done. So it should be fairly similar now. So I believe that
Excuse
you
me,
got the link. Yeah.
excuse me, Professor. I
Yeah.
cannot see that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that much of detail. My graph is very small and it just shows months, not the days.
Yeah. Right, right. See, it is due to the fact because in the beginning when you are looking at it out of the box, it might be squeezed like this. Okay, what you're seeing is this, right? So
Yeah,
you might be even seeing less than this. So
yeah. This is the thing. Yeah,
okay, just if you look at the top, where is my cursor? You will find the lens. It might not be on the same spot on your screen, but find this zoom in, zoom out tool. So it might be there on the right side or the left side.
yeah.
So
I got it.
okay, just click
Yeah.
on this. It will let you increase the resolution of the time scale. So this is the
Yeah.
time scale. Okay, this is the time scale. You keep this in view and click on the plus. It will resolve to, basically it is a bunch of days. So then you click on once again till you
Yeah,
find
I got
that
it.
it
It
is the,
shows the days now.
yeah. So you can position your Gantt bar from here. So
And
this,
my color is like now it's green and yellow, not the red and yellow. I changes all the colors like you, but it still shows green and yellow.
yeah. So what you do if you look at the option bar, so basically you select the critical. The critical. You select the critical
Okay.
because it is showing you the critical path. Now, if I uncheck this box, now you can see that it will become green. Okay, so I don't want that. I basically want to see the critical path. So that is why I am seeing the critical path here. So the critical, it is very important to see the critical path because that way I can determine that which tasks are basically going to impact the finish date of the project. So I can apply the resources from for those tasks. I can basically ensure that those tasks they never run out of resources or they have resources at all the time so that the finish date is not impacted. Right. So this is called the divider bar. So this divider bar basically divides the screen between the columns and the Gantt chart. But suppose if you are doing some kind of task where you are not interested to see the Gantt chart, you can switch the view. Do you see on the top where my cursor is? I'm moving my cursor a little bit so that you can see the location. It's here. I click on this one. I see only the columns. I've switched off the Gantt chart. Okay. Now if I click on this, so this will show me the columns as well as the Gantt chart. So I can subdivide the screen and then I can look at the columns and the Gantt bar also. So if you are using a high resolution monitor, a little bit bigger one, so it is better that you include a lot of columns and so that you can see. And these days what people do that they are doing it on very small little monitors, which is not advisable because the small little monitors sometimes you are not able to see some detail. You could be making a mistake in plannings. But if you are at the your base location, the office or your home, just keep a bigger monitor handy and you can attach it to your laptop and you can do the final planning there. And for traveling purposes, smaller screen is fine. Okay, always use a bigger screen, a mouse and a keyboard, external keyboard if possible. Okay, external keyboards are very convenient. And this kind of a job, if you are a planning engineer, so it requires the error-free planning. Okay, because a lot of things can go out of the way if some mistake is there in the plan. So I hope you get my point. So this will make you get the best out of Primavera. So do you see these columns here? Okay. So if you wish, you can add these columns. If you wish, you don't have to add this column. So basically, it is to understand that what is doing. So I'm using a calendar, a default calendar that is software development 6 days a week. So that's why in my calendar, you would be seeing that the work.
Professor, I
Yes.
cannot see the that many columns as you have like variance, BL, project loss. I just
Yeah.
have the original duration, remaining duration, and the schedule percentage complete, and the
Yeah.
start finish. That's it.
Yeah.
How
Not
to add calendar and variance, BL, project total cost, actual
okay.
cost.
Okay. I had shown you in the previous screen. So let us do it once again here. Just right click here in the blank space and you select this option columns. So you can add these columns as they are displayed on my screen, just similar to mine, and you can even have different columns, more additional columns. So what you can do that you go to the available option, okay, group and sort by list. So now it is going to show you alphabetically. Just do one thing. You select a column and you push towards the right using the right arrow and you can place it in the correct position by using the up down arrow. Okay, so I think that now you can do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I'll just wait here for a while. So I believe that the other people can also do the same. So let's have the same screen. Okay, so that we can go in a very synchronized manner. So I want to ensure that everybody has the same level of the understanding as we are going. So once you have selected the columns, I would understand that everybody has also selected at the same pace. You just let me know when you are done so that
I
I can
cannot I cannot set the red one, the
red one,
critical.
the critical
Yeah,
part. So I'll just
yeah.
show you. So you first set the layout. You first set the layout. Select the same columns. I'll just show you. I'll just
Layout.
click on the graph.
Okay.
You first select the column so that because right now we are focusing on the columns only, the graph will become important as we add more and more tasks, and then we will be able to distinguish between the critical and the non-critical tasks by looking at the red bars, the red gain bars. The red gain bars are basically due to the fact that the task they are longer in duration than the rest. So here you have only one task, so one task means that it is the critical path itself. But once you have put more combinations of the task, the color would change. Okay. Okay. So you have done that. Have you selected the
Now
column?
give me a minute.
Yeah. So what about the rest? Are you guys able to go at the same pace?
Yeah, done, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. Fine. We make sure that everybody gets along. So make sure that you ask me
And
if you are
and
not.
also I have like a simple question. Like in your original duration, it shows 7D, and in my original duration, it just shows 7.
Yes, so we have not yet done the settings because my interface has been set. We'll go through the settings. So that's why I want these columns to be displayed here so that you can ask me the questions that why it is different. So we will go through the settings. So once you've got the columns, so let's click on OK. Okay, we will do the settings now because we have just installed the software and we need to set up the environment. So guys, you
Okay.
are ready to set up the environment?
Yes.
The environment is set from here in the admin. Okay, in the admin, we have got preferences. What do we prefer? So we set our preferences as the admin. Okay, so general, so code separator is just this. First day of the week, you select as Monday because Monday is the day where the planning starts. So first day of the week should be Monday. So you have done that, guys. We start with the general. So, don't be elsewhere. Please be here, admin preferences. We will go
I
at the
cannot
same pace.
see original duration.
So just don't worry, leave that. You come to the admin preferences screen. So guys, I'll just pause here for please, everybody please confirm that you are at the admin preferences.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. So
I'm there.
please select Monday and I'll tell you about the default duration. See, when you create a new task, it will have a duration. Okay. So if you think that most of your tasks they have a duration of 5 days and you think that it is comfortable according to your industry. So basically, in construction industry, a minimum duration that a task has is 5 days because Primavera is more and more oriented towards civil engineering. So, that's why they have put 5 days by default. But what I prefer personally is that whenever a task is created, it should have a default duration of 1 day only, and then you should be able to change it to something else as per your estimates. Because 5 days, makes it look real, and sometimes people mistakenly take it as a 5 day. So don't put 5 days, just put 1 day. Okay, 1 day means that you really need to look at it and you need to change. Okay, then you come to the data limits, leave it there as it is. Then you look at ID lengths, leave it there. Time periods, so let's come here. Time periods. So everybody is at the time periods.
Yes.
Hours per day is 8 in case you are having a 5 day week organization. So hours per week will be 40 and hours per month will be 172. Okay. So 72 is based upon, what is the premise here? 172 divided by 8. So it's like 21 and a half days. So you can make it like 22 days, because there are 4 complete weeks and there is 2 days. So 22 multiplied by 8 equal to 176. You can make it 176 hours per month, and 176 is fine. And hours per year, you can change it. So if you have 176 multiplied by 12, you get 2112. So you just make it hours per year as 2112. That is. Now, time period abbreviations. Now, abbreviations are something that you enter as a suffix into the data. Minutes in Primavera, it is suffixed as M. But in Microsoft project, the minutes is suffixed as M and month is suffixed as MO. So I tell people to change it. I tell them, you make it M, you make the month as MO. You first make it MO. Oh, no, it won't. So keep the months as M and keep the minutes as N. It doesn't let you enter 2 characters. No, it does. MO. So make the minutes as single M. Now, this is the abbreviation that you are going to use when you are entering the data in the column. So if you enter M, it will be interpreted as minutes. If you enter MO, then it will be taken as months. So because some people have to use Primavera and Microsoft project at the same time in their organizations. For smaller projects up to 3 years, they use MS project. For longer duration project, they use Primavera. So I tell them, guys, please set them like this, otherwise you will be left confused. Okay, if you have to switch between software. So I think that this is convenient. Okay, earned value. So you keep the value here. So it's like this, just keep it here. Keep it the same. Just look at the options here, keep it the same. Reports, first set, so you keep it the same. Footer level, you can change it to your company's name, your organization name, footer level. Options, by calendar, week, you keep it here. Rate types, standard, like this. Industry, you select engineering and construction, because you must have seen this message when it was launched first time that your industry has not been set. So this is what you set here, right? Engineering and construction. So guys, you have done that. So I believe that you are able to keep up with me. So do you want me to repeat some of the options? Do you want to see something that is set, or you have
No,
done?
sir.
No, sir, we are done.
We're done.
We are done. Okay, fine. You click on close. So slowly and slowly, your and my interface will start looking the same. Okay, after that, we look at admin currencies. You see this currency, that is the USD. Okay. Now, in Primavera, you have real currency exchange rate. Now, USD is the base currency. It is always one. And rest of the currencies, they can be converted based upon the US dollar. So this is what is there in the xe.com website if you have used it. So all the currencies, suppose if you've got 2 currencies, like if you're trying to convert, say, like Canadian dollar to Japanese yen. So, the Canadian dollar will be first valued against the US dollar, then US dollar will be valued against the yen, and then it will be converted to yen. So this is how it works on the same premise. So US dollar is the world base currency, and based upon that, what is the value of the corresponding currency? So pound sterling, so 0.61 pound sterling is equivalent of 1. So it could be changing, update the latest one. And if you don't find a currency here, you can add it. You will see lots of currencies here that suppose if I don't have this currency, I don't have Indian rupees here. So what do? I just click on add. Okay, it will create. So I change it to the actual code of the currency. Then I type the name of the currency. I say Indian rupees. So if you don't find a currency, you add it. Then you select the symbol. So I select the symbol as RS. Okay. Then what is the rate of this currency based upon $1. So I put it according to the exchange rate, current exchange rate. So I use a little bit of round figure because I'm training, but in real life you would be using the currency up to the 6 decimal. Because why 6 decimal? Do you know, guys, why decimal should be used? Suppose if you're converting $1 million to 1 million rupees, if you don't have the correct conversion rate up to the sixth point, so you could be losing a lot of money if you are converting to and fro. So it is better that you take the 6 digit, which is available there, xe.com currency exchange, and you can use it here. And once you put it here, you will get an exact currency exchange. Do you get the point, guys?
Yes, yes.
So this is the general
Yes.
currency ID, currency symbol, the appearance. Okay. So how the currency symbol will appear for positive, how it will appear for the negative. So you keep it the same. The digit grouping symbol all over the world is comma, but in the European countries, actually it is the decimal symbol. But you know that is very confusing. So in science, in scientific, in numbers, and everywhere we are using the decimal symbol as the dot. So keep the decimal symbol as the dot and digit grouping symbol as the comma, and number of the decimal places which would be useful in your project for calculation of any cost will be 2. So down to the last cent. So that is fine. You don't need to go below that. So then you click on the close. Okay, so it will be. Now you have that is the master table. That is the master table. That doesn't mean that this currency is applied, because the currency which will be applied based upon the user preferences. Okay, these are the admin categories. Now let me tell you about the categories. See, if you are having, say, expenses in your company, do you see all the expenses here in your fresh out of the box software installation? Do you have transport there? Do you have transport?
Yep.
Yes.
No, no.
No, no, no.
No, no, I
You
don't.
don't have
No.
transport.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you, you'll have to create this, because what happens is that out of the box some categories might not be there. Now when you are planning a project, suppose if a particular task requires certain amount of material to be transported from your warehouse to the project site, so definitely you need to plan that amount of money, because the work is being done by an external contractor. So for the external
Right.
contractor, we don't track their man hours. Okay, we have an agreement. Look, I am going to pay you $1,000 for the transport of this much amount of material from my warehouse to 10 kilometers away to the project site, and you will get this job done. That's it. We are interested in the result, and we are interested to plan the amount of money. So I should have a expenditure head which is planned in advance, because that is a pure expenditure. Now, pure expenditure should be classified under the appropriate head. Some of the heads are available. If some heads are not available, you can create it. So what do I do? That I create, I say add. So I say my expense head. No, you shouldn't name it like that. Actually, you should name it something real. My expense head. So what is the benefit that when I'm planning a task in which I have some external work to be done by a subcontractor, which is based upon the pure payment, and I am not interested in their man hours, so I can use that. So that will come in handy. So if you want to delete it, you delete it. But usually you shouldn't delete if some expense head is already having some data. Okay, so we create the ones which we need in the company and we don't have, and then we can use it whenever we need it. Okay. Then WBS categories initially, so this is fine. This is according to the PMI process. Document categories, what kind of documents we create here. So if you don't have any category which you use in your company, you can add it. Okay. Document status, not started in process. I think these are good enough. Risk categories, what kind of risk you can face in your organization. So you can put them here. Notebook topics, if you are creating a notebook topic, so what kind of topics you can create, so you can put them here, and these topics will be basically handy to classify what kind of notebook entries you are making against a task. Units of measure, you will not find lots of them here, so you create them. So just have a
Hello.
look at my screen and you can create this. The ones which are missing.
Sir, what's the use for of this notebook topics? Why
Yes.
it is there?
Yes. But let me show you. See, this is a task. I'm going into the activity details. And in this, there is an option called notebook. Do you see this notebook? The option here. I can take notes for this task. I say add. When I say add, I see the notebook topic. What topic I'm
Okay,
writing?
yep, sure.
Deliverable,
Okay,
assumption, risk, objective, rationale. So I should have some category, that makes it easier for people to understand that what kind of description that I'm providing here. What I'm talking about in this topic. Am I talking about sample? Am I talking about rationale? Am I talking about lesson learned? Okay, I'm talking about the constraint. So if there is a constraint which is very specific to this kind of a task, I select this. Okay, and then I start writing here. Okay, then I start writing the constraint. So I write about constraint 1, constraint 2. Okay, so this gives me a better way of communicating with someone who might be using the plan maybe 6 months down the line. Maybe I am the planning engineer, but I'm not the executive engineer. So someone would see the topic. He wants to know the constraint, so he can click on constraint. I another note. So this time lesson learned. Okay, so I can include the lesson learned from the past topic. Okay, lesson.
I don't have a notebook on the bottom of mine.
Oh yes, I'll show you how to get that. So just don't worry. So just do one thing. Just customize activity details. So you're here. Customize activity details. Can you see this option? Just by right clicking.
Yes, I can.
Click on this and you select the notebook and take it to the right. So you'll be seeing the notebook on your left hand side right now.
Okay.
So have you taken it to the right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, just click on OK, and then you can use the notebook.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
this is totally configurable. So you can put a lot of things here, predecessor, successors. So what I prefer is the relationships. Okay, so this is how it goes. So basically, if you look at the relationship, it shows you both in the same screen. But if you look at predecessor, successor, it shows you individually. So you will know it in a while. Actually, I don't use the predecessor, successor because it is out of the box, and I don't need it actually. I use these options. Okay, so in the relationship, you can, because every task can have a successor, it can have a predecessor. So you can use the relationship tab to basically specify who is the successor and who is the predecessor for this. And this is the notebook entry, so you can add. Now, coming back to the main point, so admin category. So I create the notebook topics here and where they should be visible and where they are relevant. So I can put them here in EPS, in project, in WBS, and in tasks. So where you think that these are relevant to be used, so you can select like activity. So activity, what kind of notes that they can have? Lesson learned, business benefits. Okay, so this is not useful. Business benefit is not useful at the task level. I hope it makes sense to you. So that's why we uncheck. So business benefit is useful at the EPS level, project level, and maximum up to the WBS level. At the task level or the activity level, we don't need this topic classification. It is not useful here. So that's why the box is kept unchecked. Okay, so what is useful at whatever particular level? So that box is checked up so that this notebook topic is visible. So for everything you can take a note. So you can take a note for the project, you can take a note for the WPS, you can take a note for resource, you can take a note for the enterprise project structure. So that is the portfolio note. Note for the portfolio, you can take a note for a task. So you can take a note from top to bottom and bottom to top, everything which is there. So different kind of categories of notes are relevant and you can select the ones that are relevant. Okay. So I believe that you have been able to configure this. Now, let me tell you that how to basically select a currency that you want to see. Okay, so you go to the edit user preferences. Okay, so let's go to the time units. So guys, you set up this time units as on my screen, exactly on my screen, and you will, once you apply this, you will see that why it is useful. So basically you wanted to see the D and all that, so you will get that once you have duration format subunit, and then you have to select show as units with duration. So units with duration, so that will show you the D. Okay, so unit of time is the hour. Okay, you don't need the minutes. Show unit label. So once you check this box, unit label will be visible in the column duration. So it will show you D, it will show you M, it will show you V, and whatever is that. Unit of time will be day. So day is the most universally understood duration. So you have done that. Go to the dates, the format. So basically I prefer this format day month year. So maybe in your country it could be month day year. You select the month day year. In India we use the day month year. So that's how we are using. So we are not interested in time because we don't want that much of the resolution. So we select the third radio button. I want to use the month name because the month name makes it unambiguous, so that people that are not confused. So because I'm doing international training and we have people coming from MMDDYY and DDMMYY, and if you look at my dates, I'm showing the month name so that everybody knows that what is the meaning of this date. So that's why. And currency, you select your currency. So suppose if I select INR, okay, if I select INR and I click on close, my interface changes to rupees and it will be a real conversion. So every $1 would show up as 65 rupees here. So based upon your selection of your currency, you will see the conversion. So this is from the edit user preferences. So user preferences is basically, it tells you what you prefer. So we don't have much anything beyond this. Everything is fine. So time units, dates, and currency. These are the three important preferences that we set up, and then we can start our scheduling thing. Okay. So we will learn a little bit more about the interface tomorrow. So right now, if you have any questions before closing, so you can ask me.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
So still unable to see that Gantt bar chart. Can you just let us know how we can see the critical path? Because we already checked the critical path, which is not showing. It is still
Yeah.
showing green and yellow.
Okay, just do this thing. Go to the tools. Tools. Schedule. Click on this. Schedule.
Okay, sir.
Click on options. Options here.
So wait, it's loading something. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just wait here. So I'll just wait here. Click on tools, schedule. So you are here.
Yes, sir.
Click on options.
Okay.
Click on schedule or automatically when a change affects dates.
Okay.
And define critical activities as total float less than or equal to 0h.
Yeah, that's the same.
Done.
Yes, sir.
Click on close and click on schedule. Click on the schedule.
Okay. Yeah, now we're able to see.
Now you are able to see. Fine.
Yep,
Good.
same thing. Same thing.
Okay, good. So everybody has done this. So you should be able to see. Everybody should be synchronized.
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay. So guys, so we close today. Yeah, someone has a question. Yes, Mike. Yeah,
I
Mozart.
couldn't find a user preference like you were saying in edit.
User preference. Yeah, you go to the edit and just click here. So it might be down below. Yes.
Oh, down at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Because this menu is flexible. It shows sometimes little, sometimes it shows the full thing. So you
Okay.
just expand it, you will find it, and then you set only three: time unit, date, and currency, and rest you leave as default. Okay, they don't matter. So you can select the currency which you want to work with. So it will be picked up from the master table. So master table has the conversion rate based upon the US dollar, and the currency which you work with is selected from here.
Okay.
And Professor, my calendar shows differently. It doesn't show like you like.
Yeah.
My calendar shows corporate standard full time,
Yes,
and
yes.
yours
So
shows 6 days a week or
yes,
something.
yes, yes. Right, right, right. So we'll do the calendar tomorrow. First of all, we are trying to set up the environment, understand the interface, and
Okay.
then we will come to the scheduling, and scheduling
Uh,
will have the calendar thing also. Okay, the calendar thing is very important because the greatest constraint in a project is time, and you should be able to create and use an appropriate calendar. Okay, so there will be a
okay.
lot of emphasis on the calendar only. So
Sure.
tomorrow, hopefully, we'll start the topic of the calendar. So I hope that everybody's software is now working properly. Everybody now understand where is the data, and they
Yeah.
can know how to back up the data. So if you want to copy the DB file to your pen drive, so what you can do, that you can close the Primavera. Always close your Primavera like this. You should always go to the file and exit. Okay, and not from here, because sometimes the data is not saved. So if you go to the exit, it will ask you, are you sure you want to exit? So you say yes. So when you say yes, it will save the data. You must have noticed that it has taken a little bit of while. So after this, so what you can do, you can go to the folder where your DB file is kept, and you can copy it to your pen drive. You create pen drive. In your pen drive, you create dates. Okay, date folder. You create a folder 09 March, okay, or 10 March 2018, and then you keep the copy of the DB file into that. So next day you keep a copy of your DB file in the folder, say 11 March. So no, that way you will having an opportunity to roll back in a very granular fashion. If you made any mistake in today's planning, what you can do, you can immediately find the previous day's database copy and copy it back into your hard disk, and you have rolled back to a correct version of the data. That is very important. Right, guys? So I'll just sign off. So right now in Indian Standard Time, it is like 11:40 here. So,
Oh,
so I
Sir,
think that for some it
I
will be this time. For me, it
I
is the
I
dinner
have a
time.
doubt. So,
Yes, yes.
can we get the recordings of these sessions?
Yes, I have done the recording here. So I think it
Hmm.
is doing the recording at the Zoom level also. I will see that
Okay.
which folder the recording is going into. I think it is recording here. So I had started the recording when I started the session. So when the file is saved, so what I will do, I will share it on some Google folder. Okay, and you
Yeah. Thank you,
can
sir.
download it. Okay,
Yeah.
so
For future
let me
purposes,
see.
we can like
Let
sometimes
me
we
see
can
that
open
where.
all these things.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So let me see that where is that. So I will
Okay.
upload it. Okay, and I will give you the access through the Gmail. Okay,
Okay.
so keep your questions. So basically, if you have any questions, don't lose them. Sometimes a question will come up in the daytime. You immediately take a note of it. And when we start the class tomorrow, before we move into the further topics, you should be asking me all the questions for the topics that we have covered till today. And then we will move without any doubts. We'll move with clarity, right? So note your question
Yeah, thank you.
instantly if it comes into your mind. Right, guys? Okay.
Okay,
okay,
thank
sir.
you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome.
Have
Thank
a
So
good
you.
day,
we,
sir.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Good,
So
good,
we meet
good
at the
night.
same time. I'll just tell you what is my Indian Standard Time, so you can match up with your own local time. So my local time to start is 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So you translate it into your local time. I think it will be the same. That what is
Yeah.
your local time, which correlates to 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, so we'll start at the same time tomorrow. I'll be in a little bit earlier, 5-10 minutes before. And those who want to ask me any random questions, you are welcome. Fine.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you.
Okay. See you
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Have a good day.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.